wrestling news. There's not tons of wrestling news, but there's certainly things for us to talk about. We've got the ratings for NXT last night, which make quite interesting a conversation. We've also got the feedback to Hit Row. We've got obviously some news that came through about Ricky Starks as well. We've got Dave Meltzer talking about when AEW might be able to beat Raw. And obviously we've got all the matches, and we might as well go to the matches and talk about all of the matches that we've got coming up tonight. So we've got Pac versus Orange Cassidy. Of course, the winner will get a title opportunity. We've got the coronation of the Pinnacle. And I did joke on Twitter that I hope that the My Pillow guy will be there, because I do think they could have a little bit of fun with the crash mat thing. It might not be the wisest idea, because I think they are going to try and sell that it was a really horrific fall and that we might not see Jericho for a while. And I think they're still going to try and make us believe this was awful. And it was awful. But, yeah, we got the coronation of the Pinnacle tonight. We've got Jon Moxley taking on Nagata. So that is a big, big match. That's, I expect Jon Moxley to win, of course. It is for the IWGP United States Championship. And we can talk about that match in a little more detail. Nagata, of course, making his debut. I think it was like early 90s. Might even have been late 80s. And he has won the IWGP Championship a couple of times. He was in WCW. He's a big name over in Japan. I don't know if he's really that well known. I mean, honestly, his best years were quite a while ago now. So when we talk about Japanese wrestling, we talk about Okada. We talk about Omega when he was over there. We talk about Naito. I don't think we really talk about Nagata all that much. So I don't think this is one that's going to really move the dial for AEW tonight, but it's going to be, I think, for wrestling fans, and certainly for wrestling fans that like their history, and certainly like their Japanese wrestling, this is going to be a lot of fun. We've also got Thunder Rosa in action. We got Darby Allin taking on Miro for the TNT Championship. We've got Young Bucks versus SCU, and I think, don't SCU have to split up if they lose? So we've got an interesting stipulation there. Tony Schiavone interviews Jade Cargill. And there might even have been more. There was some breaking news, something to do with Britt Baker being on the show as well. I don't think it was a match, though. So loads of stuff that has been jotted down and previewed for tonight's show. Absolutely tons of stuff coming up. So, yeah, I think this should be a really good show. Hopefully it can kind of keep the momentum going, because even though the end of Blood and Guts is what's got all the headlines, you really can't take away from how good the match was. The match before they climbed up onto the roof, and I understand the commercials got in the way. Take out the commercials, take out the final moments. That match was really good. I didn't actually see what Dave Meltzer rated it. I don't know. Has he scored it yet? I'd be very interested to know what he scored it. That is something that has actually passed me by. So I'll have a quick Google search. Dave Meltzer, Blood and Guts rating. It might not have come out. I haven't seen it. Let's have a look. Blood and Guts. Oh, it had... Oh. 4.5. 4.5. 4.5 stars. I would have gone lower than that, to be honest. I think it was a really good match. But I think the commercials and the ending really do take away a significant amount of the appeal of it. So I'd probably more down like 3.75 kind of ballpark. Maybe could have twisted my arm to a 4. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't have gone to 4.5. But hey, that's just Dave Meltzer doing Dave Meltzer things. So there we go. 4.5 stars from Dave Meltzer for Blood and Guts last week. But yeah, hopefully they can keep that momentum going. Take out the last 12 minutes as well, says Harley. Nagata has had legit MMA fights with Krokop and Fedor in Pride, says Daniel. Shout out to you. Grant said, if Orange Cassidy doesn't beat Pac, we riot. I think he will. I can see him beating Pac. I think that they really set that up last week, to be honest, because I think they were really foreshadowing it when obviously there was a big interaction between Orange Cassidy and Kenny. So I think there was a big foreshadowing there. So I do expect Orange Cassidy to be the one that emerges victorious. I'm not sure how they're going to do it. I don't know if there's going to be some outside interference, someone's going to attack Pac without the referee looking, or what's going to go down. But yeah, I think Orange Cassidy, he would be my pick for winning that tonight. Labria said, I love your shirt. Thank you. It's Andre the Giant that I got from Hogan's Beach Shop in Orlando, Florida. And there's even a video on the channel of when I bought it. And I do love it. I must admit, when I put it on, I was like, this is the kind of shirt that I would wear out, to be honest. Like, I would wear this out at a pub or something. So, I kind of don't want to wear it too much. Although, saying that, I'd probably wear the Volta one out as well. And I wear that quite a bit. So, yeah, I agree. I do like it as well. Eid Mubarak, says Retribution. Yep, same to you. I don't quite know how you pronounce it, so I'm sorry if I butchered that. But, yes, I hope to everyone that is celebrating that you've had a good day. Daniel said, don't know if you saw, but Johnny Walker versus Thiago Santos scheduled for September, and Darren Till versus Luke Rockhold is in the works. That's very cool. Ant Washington said, I wonder, with the new contract Becky signed, I want to know what are the details. Can I just say that I've properly messed up my contact lens, and it's really hurting. There it is. There it is. For those of you that have never seen a contact lens, because there might be some of you out there. My eye was a little sore at the start of the stream, so I just wiped it, and I completely messed it up, but don't know if you can see that. There we go. There is an actual contact lens. So I do wear contact lenses, hence why I've got one in my hand right now. And they're quite soft, by the way. Like, they're quite squidgy and soft. You can kind of like roll them up and whatever. But yeah, that for like the past few minutes has been really irritating my eye. And clearly I can't put that back in now, so that's done. So now I've just got one eye. They call me One Eye Days. Don't make any jokes, please, William Hensey. Yeah, straight away as soon as I said that, I was like, oh, William Hensey's going to come in with a few words. Days, according to Dave Meltzer, we can do this. According to Dave Meltzer, HBK versus Undertaker 4.75, Blood and Guts 4.5. Really? HBK versus Shawn 3.5. I don't even think Blood and Guts was as good as Bianca and Sasha. Richie, shout out to you. Jim said, I heard they're going to reopen pubs on the 21st. I think you can go to a pub if it's got a beer garden right now, but I don't think you can go in and like sit inside. But yes, I understand that there is another wave of things that are opening, like pubs and cinemas and leisure centres and stuff like that. So taking another step forward here in the UK, but I mean, it's been a long time. We've been in lockdown all year, all the way up until the middle of April. So, yeah, we've been out of lockdown for a few weeks now, about 3 weeks, maybe 4. And yeah, it's good. It's good that we're now starting to open up. Japan announcement of death match today. This is going to be quite a challenge to read this with one eye. Because even though it's quite a big screen and it's literally like as far away as what the camera is, my eyesight is horrific. Becky has signed... I nearly said Beth. Becky signed a contract that is worth $1 million per year. Cool. I want to try and make this bigger, because I really am going to struggle. Boom. Kristen said, I'm confused. I thought AEW was against YouTubers live streaming, even talking about the company. Well, what can they do? Is the, I'm not using any graphics of theirs. I've got no logos displayed of theirs. they can do diddly squat. So, yeah. In all fairness, I heard that it was a bot. That I don't think it was someone that was sat at AEW that was going around and like manually doing this. I think that it was a bot that had gone a little bit rogue. But in all fairness, I do think they have also tightened their kind of social media policies and their like permissions and whatnot. But there's really nothing they can do to stop you from talking about them. It's just if you're going to use their footage that, you know, it's open season then, so you just gotta be careful. I'm excited for AEW tonight, says Jake. Austin says your thumbnail should have been Barbie. LSW said I loved the stick of Dynamite in the thumbnail. AEW Dynamite and SmackDown on the same night on May 29th, one day before Double or Nothing pay-per-view on Saturday. Oh, is it moving? I didn't hear that. So it's going to move to a Friday, is it? On May 29th. Are you a big fan of Billie Eilish? Harley asks Nathan. I'm going to answer this as well. I liked her You Should See Me in a Crown, and I liked Bad Guy, and I think they might be the only things I've ever heard. And I first heard her on NXT, because You Should See Me in a Crown was used as one of the takeover themes. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? That they introduced me. In fairness, now, all my music, new music, I either get from NXT or adverts. That's about it. I'm not very good at listening to new music anymore. Days, what is going on with Cody? It's like he doesn't care anymore, says Cerebral Assassin. I'm pretty sure he does. He's got a big interest in this company working, and obviously I think he's got a lot on his plate at the moment. You know, Brandy's pregnant. They're doing that kind of reality show thing. I don't know what's happening with his game show that he was a part of. Obviously, he's got AEW as well. Like, he's got a lot of plates that he's spinning, and I don't know, maybe he's just spinning a few too many. Kevin said Tony Khan's football team has been relegated 3 times in 8 years, yet he wins Booker of the Year. I'm not sure that they're connected, in all fairness. Like, maybe the Premier League is scripted. I'm not sure. But I don't know if the fact that Fulham got relegated plays any part in Tony Khan getting Booker of the Year from Dave Meltzer. But I'd be willing to explore that theory. Harley said, I just got bullied by Days. Did you? Pit Viper says AEW will move to Friday night at 9 after SmackDown for one night. Bonkers says SCU should win the tag titles, but get the win, but won't, but get the win by DQ. C Nation says, how come you not call it All Elite Wrestling, but an exciting wrestling live stream? I just want to be really careful right now. I mean, I'm sure we will flip things back in a few weeks' time once everything's settled, but there was a lot of copyright strikes that were being dished out, so I don't really want to be using those. I suppose I could use those words, but they can't really stop me from using words, can they? They can't really stop me from typing words. So I suppose I could. I don't know. I'm just being careful. Edward said, Days, did you see my tweet about WWE should invade AEW for what they said? I think I did. Yes, yeah, I think you sent it through a couple of times. Appreciate the stream. Callum, shout out to you. Austin says 18 days till Britt Baker is going to become the AEW Women's Champion. They've got a new Billie Eilish book at Barnes & Noble. Harley, that's come through from Nathan. Nathan wants you to know there's a new Billie Eilish book that is available. This is now turning into some kind of like wrestling stream, weird Billie Eilish standum as well, which I'm not even a part of. So I'm definitely here for this. James Chadwick said all egotistical wrestling. James, hope you are well. Rated R Wrestling said, Days, there's a new Marvel movie that's coming out about Loki. There we go. If you want to go and see a Marvel film about Loki, that's on its way soon, so you'll enjoy that. Loki, it was a Scandinavian dog that fell into a vat of powers, and when he came out, he could turn into an old woman. But she could literally cook anything. That is the dramatic movie coming from Marvel, the story of Loki the dog that can turn into a woman that is like the greatest chef in the world. And when I say anything, I literally mean anything. She can cook anything. You should check the trailer out. It's awesome. Kristen says, AEW didn't open the doors to wrestlers wrestling in other promotions. Didn't Impact do that first with New Japan? Oh, no, it goes way back. Way back. I mean, I'm sure the territories were working together as well, like all the way back in like the 60s and 70s. In fact, there was obviously a lot of talent that was constantly moving around throughout that time, but I think there was territories that were putting on shows together as well. So this has been part of wrestling for ever. Heather says, dang it, Days, I had to run all over town to get gas for my car because of the pipeline that's been hacked on the East Coast. I did see this. My Twitter account is set to the United States because why do I want it in the United Kingdom? They're all losers. So I set it to the United States so I get to see what's trending in the United States. And I saw this gas shortage that you guys are having at the moment. I don't think it's happening here. But I've seen it all over to Twitter today. People like putting it in plastic bags, filling up their boots. What are you doing? Just, love, go and get the plastic bags out the drawer. We're going to fill the boot with gasoline. Doesn't strike me as the greatest idea in the world. But, hey, you know, fill your boots, USA. Matthew Lopez says, Matthew Lopez is a legend. I should bring her back, really. I'm not going to. Who do you think wins the title this weekend with Roman? I think Roman. I can't see Cesaro winning this weekend. I think Roman is too important. I think Roman is the show. So can I see Cesaro winning the title at WrestleMania Backlash in front of a crowd of no one? No. So I think that there'll be some outside interference, blah, 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 blah. I really want to get pumped for WrestleMania Backlash, but there's just nothing that's doing it. The only match that I'm even slightly interested in is Roman versus Cesaro, and I kind of feel like that is just Roman all day long. They could eventually put the title on Cesaro. I don't know that they're going to have him in the main title picture and then never pull the trigger on him. You know, maybe he gets it at SummerSlam. If SummerSlam's going to be at Madison Square Garden, perhaps this is the start of a feud that builds towards SummerSlam. And maybe he gets the belt there, but I can't see them taking the title off Roman without fans in attendance. This is just a theory, but Cody is set to make an announcement tonight. It could be New Japan related. He might challenge the winner of Nagata and Moxley at Double or Nothing for the IWGP US Championship. Daniel, shout out to you. Harley said, I've got a picture of me and Eddie Guerrero from 2018. It's seemingly more Backlash than WrestleMania. Yeah. I just kind of feel like they could have done so much more. Like, I just don't really understand how. I don't know. I don't want to keep laying into it all. Do you know what I mean? Like, I get tired of moaning about it, but it's just been so creatively redundant. There's just no massive major storylines going on. Roman is the best thing that's happening right now. He got rid of Daniel Bryan, And, now he's got a match against Cesaro, and that's about it, really. Like, I'm really not taken by the Braun, Drew, Bobby. I think that's been booked horribly. I think the Asuka, Charlotte, Rhea match is crowded as well. I don't know. I mean, look, it's a pay-per-view. Do you know what I mean? We only get one a month. So we're streaming it. And, gonna really try and get excited for it. But right now, there's nothing that's really, grabbing me, I hope Edge interferes. Well, that would be a start. That would definitely help if that's where Edge is going to, return. We haven't seen him since WrestleMania. Unbroken said, that's the same pipeline that leaked 1 million gallons of oil in a natural preserve a week ago. It's well documented. This is just toilet paper all over again. Days, Tony makes Fulham team transfer decisions, says Kevin. I'm not 100% sure on that. Because his dad owns Fulham. And I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he has a say. I'm sure Tony has a say in that. But, yeah, I don't know. It's a bit difficult. I mean, do I think that Fulham could have done more this season? Absolutely. But they did go out and get a load of, loan signees. And the club... It's hard to know what the club needs. The club, last time... I didn't want to talk about Fulham, but we can. When they came up last time to the Premier League, they spent a load of money, right? They went straight back down. So this time, they were like, right, let's not spend a load of money. Let's get in a load of, really good loan signings. We'll just borrow players, but we'll borrow good, hungry, young players that should keep us up. They dragged their heels in bringing them in fairness. They should have got some a bit quicker than they did. But they did get them in, and they did all right. They played quite well, but they just weren't gelling as a team. And, it was up until, was it yesterday? They were still had a slim chance, and then, it finally faded. The problem is, if you're a team that is coming up from the Championship, you're going to struggle. The Premier League is so hard that, the odds are that the teams that come up are the same teams that are going to go straight back down. Obviously, out of the 3 that come up, there's normally 1 that just does enough to survive. And actually, Leeds have been fantastic. But they've got one of the world's greatest managers. So he has done some fantastic work. They've got some very exciting players. They stormed the Championship last year. So the odds were stacked against Fulham. It's hard to know what they need to do. If they spend money, it didn't work for them. And if they bring in loan players, that didn't work for them as well. So, I don't know. I feel for them. I think it's very, very difficult to try and survive in the Premier League after getting promoted. Is very hard. And I'd be the first to jump on Tony Khan if I thought that he was responsible. But I don't know. I don't know that he is. I think it's just a really hard task, to be honest. What wrestler from NXT can you see attract mainstream attention and can be seen doing a cameo? I don't know what that last thing means, those kids actor. When you say cameo, I think about the video thing. I mean, who can I see attracting mainstream attention? I don't know, honestly. I mean, who attracts mainstream attention these days? I mean, Sasha, Roman. I don't know who attracts mainstream attention in WWE. So it's hard to say. Well, this person would. I mean, I kind of feel that Karrion Kross has got a great look. Could I see Karrion and Scarlett being on a late night talk show? Yeah, sure. Put the WWE Championship on them and put them onto a talk show, and Regis and Kathy Lee or whatever it's known as now. Could they go on there? Sure. So I'll go with the obvious answer of Karrion Kross and Scarlett. But I don't know. I don't know who gets mainstream attention anymore. It tends to be your John Cena's, doesn't it? Your Roman Reigns, your big focuses. So that would be what I think Karrion Kross could go on to become. And actually, talking of NXT, because I did touch on this earlier, NXT, I must admit yesterday when we finished streaming, I never look at the numbers for the streams, because to be honest, I'm never bothered. The only streams that I'm really ever pay any attention to when it comes to likes and subscribes and views, and the only streams I ever pay attention to are the ones that will be this weekend. So the big monthly UFC one and the big monthly WWE one. Those are the only two each month. There's 2 a month that I keep an eye on, that kind of stuff, because those really are the ones that keep the channel going. The Raws, the SmackDowns, AEW, NXT, they're fine. Like, they all help, obviously, with the channel, and obviously, we do them each week. I enjoy them, and I hope people enjoy joining us for them as well. So they definitely help, but the channel survives on those big monthly pay-per-views. So this is a massive weekend for the channel, just, for the channel keeping going, which is fine. We're in a good place. I don't want people to worry about that. We're in a good place, but yeah, it's a big deal. But I must admit, after I finished last night's NXT, I looked at it and it was quite down on what we normally get. I think last week we got about 7,000 people join us, and yesterday it was like 5,000. So that's like 2,000 people that didn't join us yesterday. And it did get me thinking. I was like, have we done something wrong? Have we, I don't know, is there something we need to change? Do we need to freshen it up somehow? What's happening? And then I saw the news, and the news is that yesterday was NXT's lowest rated show where they went on their own, solo, unopposed. They got 697,000. That was it. 697. They were getting that number at times when they were going head-to-head with AEW. So, completely explained it all then. 697 to be under 700,000 unopposed on a Tuesday is not a great look for NXT. And, they might be okay with it. I don't think they'll want it to drop much further. But they might be okay with it, because we've spoke before about the budgets. AEW's budget is going to be X. NXT's budget is going to be Y. I would imagine that Y is much lower than X. And I would imagine that NXT, as a result, are probably expecting less viewers. They would want more, but I would imagine that realistically they've got a ballpark figure that they're expecting. I think this is the bottom end of it, though. I really think this is the bottom end of it. I don't think they want to be going down to 600,000. Certainly, they won't want it to be starting with a 5, right? Like, this needs to be really in the 800s. 800s, ideally. This is unopposed. So, that's a bit of a concern. As we said, there was many weeks they were getting this sort of number when they were going head-to-head with AEW. So, not a good look. It's a shame for Ricky Starks. We do need to speak about that as well, actually. So, the other bit of news, Ricky Starks has fractured his neck and out for 3 months. So, obviously, best wishes with him. I think Ricky Starks was someone that I was watching in NWA. I thought that he was okay. Didn't set my pulse racing. I wasn't crazy about him. But I could see there was something. But I will be the first to admit I wasn't crazy about Ricky Starks. And I think he's really come into his own a bit more since he joined AEW. I think he works better on a bigger stage. And it's a real shame to see him obviously now being out for 3 months. But thankfully it's nothing. Honestly, it could have been much more serious. So the fact he's only out for 3 months, I think, is a positive and something you've got to take as a positive. So really good news in that regard. So he'll be back before you know it. But hopefully he just heals up, stays safe, and he's got a bright future. I think I really like what I see from him in AEW. I'm seeing more potential now than what I did when he was in NWA. But he's still so young. He's still, do you know what I mean, learning. They're going to take these big strides forward. And I think he's definitely taken one in AEW. Moldy Spoon said, Days, if someone new joins your stream to watch wrestling and we are talking about Happy Meals and Birmingham libraries, they might leave. We're driving your viewers away. No, I don't believe that. I think that, in all fairness, I kind of feel like we've got a pretty settled community. You've got to remember that, we've been doing this a long time now, and we tend to get like roughly around the same numbers each week. So, in regards to like AEW NXT, we were around like the 8,000 mark, just as a ballpark. As I said, I never really paid too much attention to it, but I knew as a rough ballpark we were around that. So to see NXT just get 5, I will be the first to admit, made me go, oh, we've got a problem here. So in a way, I was a little bit relieved to see the NXT ratings and see that they were down to 697. So hopefully they can bounce them back up and, really do something there. I don't know what it is, though. Maybe it does need a bit of star power. Maybe we're getting to the point where they need a bit of star power just to pick it up a little bit. Because, it is their developmental still. It is still really their third brand that is where, people go to learn and then go on to Raw and SmackDown. So, but it's changed now that it's on TV. We've spoke about this identity crisis that NXT has got. Is it developmental now, or is it a third brand in its own right? If it is a third brand in its own right, why is it not more involved at WrestleMania? It gets involved, in all fairness, at like the Royal Rumble. Didn't get involved at Survivor Series last year. So we don't see it at like the Big Four. I understand it not being on Backlash and whatnot. We've got takeovers instead. But I kind of feel the Big Four, it should have some sort of presence. And it's kind of lacking. If it is a third brand, it's lacking a bit of star power. Yes, you got Finn Balor. Yes, you've got Ember Moon. Yes, you've got Wade Barrett, Beth Phoenix on commentary. It's not really enough, in all fairness. Not when you compare it to what AEW have got with the name value they're carrying. So it's a very interesting conversation, and one that WWE may be keeping an eye on, because I actually thought that was a decent card yesterday. I mean, we had quite a few title matches. Kushida versus Santos Escobar for the Cruiserweight title. Raquel Gonzalez taking on Mercedes Martinez. We saw MSK in action and Breezango. Karrion Kross. Did we get Karrion Kross? Can't remember. Yeah, we did, didn't we? We saw him in action, and then Finn Balor. I thought there was some decent stuff, and I thought that the card didn't look too bad. So I don't know. I don't know if there was something happening in America that took everyone's attention away. But yeah, I wasn't expecting that to be that low. Going Ghost said, Days, I hope you are well. Good, thank you. No hate, but I think the reason I like NXT over AEW is because the NXT champ is a marked man. AEW does typical feuds. That's fair enough, yeah. David, shout out to you. Harley said, Days, this is for Backlash. Jimmy accidentally costs Cesaro the match because of Jay. Then Roman beats down Jimmy. Roman says to Jay, finish him. Jay starts crying, and he gets forced to beat down his brother. Could be cool. That would be a mosh. I'd be interested in that story. But Spark says, poor NXT. It's better than Raw by miles. I like it even more than current SmackDown. Yeah, it is weird, isn't it? I mean, I think Raw got something like 1.8, and NXT is there with like just under 700,000. Like, it's 1.1 million viewers less. And I would agree that it is a much better show. So, yeah, it is kind of crazy. It really shows what star power can do, doesn't it? Because it's clearly not the booking that's bringing people back to Raw. I think it's just, you never quite know what you're going to get, and it's where, where all the big names are, or a lot of the big names. Austin says Fiend is going to come back in a bikini. I think you might get... I don't think so, Johnny. Magic said some of the big names that had WWE at the top left or got fired or released when they went to AEW. So that's why I think AEW gets more views and power than NXT or Raw. So this actually brings me to my next point, and that was Dave Meltzer has said that he thinks AEW will beat Raw in the winter of 2022. So just over a year, he thinks he'll beat it. Now, I think he was talking about the demo and not the overall rating. I think he was talking about that 18 to 49 demo, and I think actually at one point this year already, it did beat it. I'm sure it has beaten it once already for one of the weeks. But consistently, Dave's looked at the numbers and he thinks that consistently, by the end of next year, we should be consistently seeing AEW beat Raw in that key demo. That key demo is a very important demo. Obviously, we keep hearing that, but that is the demo the advertisers want because that is their target market. 18-year-olds to 49-year-olds. Once you get kind of over 50, I think you've got different interests. Perhaps you become a bit grumpy. Do you know what I mean? Perhaps you're not as easy to market stuff to because, do you know what I mean? You're just kind of been there, done that, seen it all. And if you're under 18, you might not have loads of disposable income. So the 18 to 49 demographic is the key market for advertisers. And that's why they really look at shows that are, delivering on that number. So that's why that demo gets spoke about a lot. And, Meltzer reckons that AEW will be consistently beating Raw in that demo by the end of next year. Shout out to Michael. Hope you are well. When Dave says that, he's guessing Raw will be just as bad at the end of 2022. If you had to rank Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW, what would be your list? I'd have SmackDown at the top. I think my favourite thing right now is Roman. I like Bianca as champion. I think that was my favourite moment from WrestleMania. I think Bayley is very entertaining. So there's enough there to make me go, yeah, I like SmackDown. SmackDown's my favourite. I will admit, though, I'd say the past month or so, they haven't been knocking it out of the park. There's been lulls during the show. So, you might get a great start and a decent ending, but then you might just get, a real lull during the show. Kind of feel like the past month in particular has been a bit... Okay, yeah, well, we got, 7. We'll give it a 7. It's pretty strong, pretty solid. I kind of feel like they've been around that. So, but it's been very consistent. I really love the Roman story. Obviously, we got Jimmy back as well. Bianca, blah, blah, blah. So I love SmackDown. I would say that next on the list right now might be... Oh, it's so close. NXT and AEW are very close to SmackDown. They're not that far behind. And it changes. It genuinely changes. Each week, I think, each show has a better show. So I think most of the time, or the majority of the time, I went with NXT being the better show when they were head-to-head. So my gut feeling would be NXT would be next. But I must admit, I really enjoyed the Blood and Guts match. Not the ending, not the commercial breaks, but the match. I thought it was great. And I think what they're doing with Kenny is really good as well. So maybe right now it might be AEW in that second spot. Then NXT, but if it is, it's super close. Those two really are just flipping all the time. And then right down in the bowels of hell. And then, make sure you take a pickaxe with you because you're going even further down. I know a lot of you might be surprised to learn that you can actually go even further down from hell, but you can. You can go further down, and do you know what it's called? It's called Raw, right? When you go as far down as you can go, that is hell. Then you take a pickaxe, you go even further down, and that's where you get to Raw. So I really can't stress how bad that show is being at the moment. I gave it a 5, and when I read some reviews, people were giving it 3s and 4s. And I was like, I only gave it a 5 because I couldn't hear it. And I thought I might have missed something good. No, it turns out I didn't. And everyone was like really laying into it. I think right now, if there's one thing that wrestling fans can agree on, Raw could be and should be much, much better. And there is not much that wrestling fans agree on, but I think that is absolutely one thing that they would agree on. Right now, it should be much, much better. Austin316, shout out to you. I hope it was a good one. It was. Well, I say it was. I didn't do anything. Vape Ross Vape says SmackDown is one wrestler. AEW is worldwide. I don't think it's one wrestler. I think you've got, obviously, Roman, which I'm guessing is the one wrestler you're talking about. But I do like the Bianca moment at WrestleMania, and I'm interested to see, are they going to build her as a new star? You know, her match against Bayley actually is something that I'm interested to see. I think the build has been disappointing in the sense of there hasn't really been one. She just got the match. So, but I'll watch it. I really don't expect Bayley to win the belt, but we'll watch it. I'm looking forward to seeing them two having a proper match on a pay-per-view show. No interruptions. I think that'll be very, very good. And obviously, yeah, you know, Cesaro. We're seeing Big E as well, and the emergence of Big E. I was watching that Treasures show. And they did an episode on Booker T, and it really dawned on me. It's like, I think Big E is sort of like this generation's Booker T, in the sense of he was in a tag team, he's come out of that tag team, we all know that he's on the, you know, heading towards the world title. I'm sure he's going to be a multiple-time world title. He likes to have fun, like Booker T used to do the Spinner-Rooney. Big E, obviously, you know, is always dancing around and doing, you know, different things. Obviously they're both like African American as well, so they've got that connection also, and the fact that, you know, unfortunately there's barriers that are still, you know, being broken down. Hasn't been that many African American WWE World Champions, or, you know, I mean, has an African American ever defended the WWE Championship at WrestleMania in the main event? Like, I don't know, to be honest, off the top of my head. I don't think so. So, I kind of think that there's still barriers that can be broken down there, and Big E is obviously a part of that. So, it really dawned on me, it was like, I kind of think Big E is, in a way, like this generation's Booker T. I know there's a few differences as well, but I think there's quite a few similarities there. So, I am looking forward to seeing, like, you know, him progressing as well. I think there's a fair bit on SmackDown. And I think the way it's presented as well, it's a bit more sports orientated than what Raw is. But there's no denying it's got that lull in the middle, you know. But I'm pleased you enjoy AEW, Vape Ross Vape. Tall Paul said, breaking news, Days is going to be on the cover of 2K21. That's right, guys. That cancelled game from last year that is never coming out, I was actually meant to be on the cover. Big Boy Dally said, I'm looking forward to Aleister Black. Yes. I'm looking forward. I like his little promos. Shame that got cancelled last week. And apparently Mia Yim is going to be on SmackDown as well. So something else to look forward to there. Jim says, Impact is the best wrestling show of the week, mostly because of Rosemary. The other thing, Hit Row. So, Hit Row is really dividing opinion. I would actually say maybe 60-40, maybe even 70-30. People are, I would say, in favour of Hit Row. On my timeline, when I went onto Twitter, saw people talking about it. I think it was one of the big talking points. And I saw quite mixed reactions. The reason why I'm saying it's 60-40, 70-30 is I did see some big people coming out that saying that they liked it. I think Wrestle Talk were positive on it. And I think there was someone else that was quite big that was positive on it as well. So I think that right now, where they are with Hit Row, is some people like it, some people don't like it, but I think a lot of people are saying, let's see where it goes. So I would say that was one of the more interesting things to come out of NXT. I mean, for the record, I've not changed my mind. I think it was awful. I thought it was cringe. I think it was people trying too hard to be cool. The woman was talking all over the guys when they were trying to talk. The one guy did a rap. Didn't impress me. I just didn't do it. Just really didn't do it. It really felt like people trying to be cool rather than people being cool. That's how it came across to me. I wasn't a fan of the song. The one thing I will say is, even though they've got names like B-Fab and stuff like this, which is a little bit T-bar-ish, right? I do understand that in the hip-hop world, that's kind of how things run. Do you know what I mean? Like a Cardi B. Do you know what I mean? Like, we do have those kind of names. So I do understand that in the hip-hop world, you do get those kind of names. But even so, it didn't feel... It felt like people trying to be cool to me. So right now, I'm not on board. But what I will say is I was very surprised to see the mixed reaction. I kind of thought people would have looked at it and gone, what the flip is this? But apparently not everyone did. So we'll see. We'll see what next week brings, and see if they can get into a better rhythm, into a better groove, and see if they can maybe find their feet a little bit. Maybe there was a little bit of nerves. Maybe, because this was the first time we saw them. But I would argue first impressions are important, and they certainly didn't knock it out of the park, because it's far from unanimous that people enjoyed this. As I said, I reckon it was about 60-40, maybe 70-30. But in all fairness, in 2021, what in wrestling are people going to be agreeing on other than Raw is not a great show? There's not much, is there? So I suppose it's to be expected. Going Ghost says, maybe NXT viewership was down in the States because of the gas shortage. Crisis people are panicking. Some gas stations had wait times for hours. I would be stunned if the reason why NXT's viewers were down was because of the gas shortage. Could it be the reason? Sure. Could be. I don't know. Perhaps everyone was in traffic jams waiting to get gas. But I don't know. I'm struggling with it. I kind of feel like it's probably not that. AEW seems like it'll be good tonight, says Taboy. I agree with that. I think this is a very good looking card. We'll do a quick recap now. We got 10 minutes till the show begins. So tonight we're going to be getting Pac versus Orange Cassidy. We're going to be getting the coronation of the Pinnacle. We're going to be getting Jon Moxley versus Nagata. We're going to be getting Darby Allin versus Miro for the TNT Championship. We've got Thunder Rosa in action. We've got Young Bucks taking on SCU. And we've got Jade Cargill getting interviewed by Tony Schiavone. We've also got something to do with Britt Baker. I don't know what that is. That was kind of breaking through as we were about to go live. So I think she's just on the show. I don't think she's having a match. So yeah, it does look like a decent card tonight. I do agree with that. Jacko said, Days, thoughts on Dana joining the Lily story, or do you think someone else would do a better job? I am absolutely the wrong person to ask about that, because so far there is nothing about the Lily story that I am into. I mean, Alexa, like, using powers to control Shayna's legs and all of this is so far away from what I look for in wrestling that I can't even fake enjoyment when it comes to that. I can't even fake it, guys. I can't even fake it. I just want Alexa to wrestle. That's all I want. I want Alexa to wrestle. I want her to have interesting stories, but I don't need this swing set. I don't need Lily. I don't mind Lily in the sense of If that was a doll that she had as a kid and she thinks that it talks to her, we can work with that. We can do something there, you know? But, I don't know. I was concerned by what I saw on Monday. Have you seen Keith Lee's tweets? No, I haven't, Cavi. Feel free to let me know what they say. I'd be interested to know. Austin said, I bet you love that Alexa had the power to stop Shayna from tagging Nia. Ha ha ha. Harley said, Days SmackDown. Don't disrespect Tribal Chief is better than NXT, which is better than Raw. AEW, which is better than Raw. Edward said, Days, Man United is going to get beaten tomorrow by Liverpool 4-1. They might do. Dylan said, Days, when Roman eventually loses the title, what do you think would happen for him? Oh, he'll still be the main focus of the show. Roman is SmackDown. He will be the main focus. So even if Edge has got the belt, I think you're still going to be getting a lot of weeks where Roman comes out, where we go backstage and it's Roman in the locker room, and it's still going to be Roman show. So even if he wins the belt, loses the belt, whatever happens with the belt, he's so important. It's huge. He is that show. I can understand why I think it was Ross Vape calling it a one-man show. I can understand it. I can understand that because he really they keep going back to him all throughout. It's quite good. I really like the stories they tell on each episode and the way they have it play out, and they go to his locker room, and he tends to start the show. He tends to be in the final segment as well, and he's obviously got control over Adam Pearce, and we've seen all that play out, and obviously got the Usos involved and whatnot. So, I mean, I don't know what feuds he'll go on to do. I mean, he could go on to do anything, couldn't he? But yeah, he'll still be around the main event picture. I'm sad there's no one tonight. I wonder if it'll be on next week. I did look at that. Yeah, no one again. I think they're doing a show on Saturday, which is a bit silly because I don't know why you'd want to go up against UFC 262, but their funeral. Magic said, Days, from everything you're saying, you seem like a better match booker than Raw has right now. Magic, honestly, buddy, I think that anyone in this chat would be better booker than what Raw has got right now. I don't know that it's the bookers that are the problem. I think it's Vince. I think that a lot of ideas get created. I do think there's a pandemic and there's a lot of stuff that has to change. So I think you've got to be able to adapt. I think it's easy to sit here and go, plan this out, plan that out, and you look at it and you go, that's great. But what do you do when that person gets sick? And what do you do when that person, like Umberto, gets injured? And what do you do when that person can't make it? Because, these things happen. There's people that are meant to be on the shows that don't make the shows sometimes. And obviously they get fined and whatnot. These are things that have happened in the past. But we don't know that as viewers. So you have to be reactive. You have to adapt. In fact, Booker told a story again on that Treasures show. He was saying that when he won the TV title in WCW, that is what launched his solo career. So he was in Harlem Heat, and he won the TV title, and he said, holding that belt is really what took him to the next level. And he was not meant to win the belt. The night he won it, it was Rick Martel that was meant to win it. But Martel actually thought he was only there for a promo, so he didn't bring his wrestling boots. So last minute, they had to find someone that could wrestle the match instead of Martel. And they went with Booker T. I mean, I don't know why Martel couldn't just borrow someone's boots. But I didn't really get the details on that. But instead, they went with Booker T. So this is what I'm saying. These kind of things change last minute all the time. Add in the fact then that you've also got Vince that at any point can just rip the script up and go in a completely different direction. I should imagine it's an absolute nightmare. I would not want to be booking Raw. I mean, I would love to book Raw, but if I was doing it, I would want to know that what I'm writing down is, going to be actioned on to the best of its... I'd want to know that I'd want to book it with Vince, to be honest. I'd want to sit down with Vince and actually book it with Vince. Because that way, when you get to TV, there's a better chance Vince isn't going to change it all because he's sort of come up with it anyway. And I'd book it that way. I'd go to his house, like how they used to do it. They used to go to Vince's house, sit by the pool, and they used to book weeks and weeks of TV. Sitting by his pool with Pat Patterson and Jim Cornette and Bruce Pritchard would go over, and in the 90s, that's how they booked the shows. I'd do that. Sounded all right. Food, drink, all that kind of stuff, sitting out in the sun. Long hours, though, apparently, but there's worse jobs. Kenny said Days the big guy who's in Swerve's hype crew. Is that the guy from the Treasures show? I honestly don't know. I can't say that I've made the connection between them. I've only seen the... It might be. They do look similar, but I don't want to say 100%. I mean, they are both bigger guys, so maybe. The guy in the Treasure show is training to be a wrestler, so there's a chance. But I can't say 100%. Haven't really seen Hit Row enough. Although I feel like I've seen him too much. Days, Camille versus Rosa is going to happen again. This time it's got a stipulation. I did hear this. Apparently the stipulation is if Thunder Rosa loses, she can't work for any other promotion or something like this, which I thought was very strange. I need to check if that's the real stipulation. But it's like, I don't know, it's weird. If Thunder Rosa loses, she can't work for any other promotion. You would think Camille would want it to be a case that if she loses, she leaves NWA. Like, get out of my promotion. So I didn't quite get that. But I need to have a look into it. I would book Goldberg versus Curtis Axel and Undertaker versus Alexa. Okay, so I'm going to take back what I said when I said any of you could book better than they do on Raw already. I meant to say any of you except for Harley. Johnny said, why did you delete old AEW videos? I had to. Because of the fact that bot was going around. So we spoke about this. It's not like a person that's going around doing it. It's a bit of software. And this software doesn't care. No. Or, literally it's just going around and just seems to be dishing out, or was dishing out copyright strikes, handing them out like candy. So I'm all right, to be honest. I don't feel like I need to get one of those. I don't mind getting free gifts, but that's one that I'm not interested in receiving. So that's why I took them down. Better to be safe than sorry. It's a loser stays in town match. That's right, yeah. Loser stays in town. It's a loser can never leave town match. If Camille wins, Rosa can only wrestle for the NWA. So that is the stipulation. I mean, to be honest, I think that's a bit weird. If I beat you, you are staying here, right? You are not allowed to go off anywhere else. If I win, you can't leave. Loser stays in the promotion. I've never heard of that. In all my years of watching wrestling, I have never heard of that match. That is one of the weirdest stipulations ever. I would even be tempted to do a video calling it the weirdest stipulation ever. If you lose this match, you're staying in this promotion. If you lose this match, you're staying here, and I'm gonna see you every single day. Yeah, we're gonna have lunch together in the canteen. Keith Lee said today is a day that they can and will define the future. The wheels can have motion and move forward, or they can stop completely. Make your wheels turn, except no substitute. Okay. Why do wrestlers get so... When did wrestlers become poets? What's all this about? I used to watch wrestling to watch them smash each other in the face. Now they're all coming out loud. They're all walking around thinking they're flipping poets for some reason. The winds of change are upon us. But don't allow them to blow away your good fortunes. Dude, what are you on about? Just go and punch him in the face. Right. AE something is on. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. We are once again at Daly's place. And can I be the first to just say, a big shout out to Daly, who seemingly doesn't mind us keep returning to his place. There's Nagata. Is he coming out first? Is he on his way? We might be starting with the Moxley match, actually, which is pretty cool if we are. Travelled to the United States in 97. Yeah, we are starting with it. Wow, this is a great way to start. This is cool. He will get a great reaction. There he is. Blue Justice. Two-time IWGP champion. 5th longest reigning IWGP champion. He had a reign of over 300-odd days. He has been competing now for 30-odd years. In fact, I think it is 30-odd years. And he is making his AEW debut, Japanese legend. And he'll be taking on Jon Moxley for the IWGP United States Championship. Vape Ross Vape said, this is wrestling history. New Japan title on US TV. Yeah, that's true. Here's Moxley. Moxley coming out with Eddie Kingston. Moxley making his way down with that IWGP United States Championship. It's an all right belt, that belt. Yeah, Moxley! There we go. He holds up the IWGP United States Championship. Yeah, this is cool. There's a lot of excitement in the chat right now. Jon Moxley with Eddie Kingston in his corner. As we said, decent looking championship. Lots of details on there. One of the reasons I enjoy AEW more than WWE show most of the time is because Dynamite gets into the action. Well, they certainly are here. It's a great way to start this, and we've got a little face-to-face right now. So, Nagata and Moxley face-to-face, and they start pushing each other. It's great that this is the first match, because that kind of suggests to me that they're going to give this some time. This is going to have a bit of time to breathe, which is good. Scott Turner, shout out to you, bud. Kick to the midsection by Moxley. Against the ropes goes Moxley. Knee to the midsection. Moxley goes down. Big boot to the face. And Moxley is being stomped on. That's good for Nagata, and crowd really into this. And Moxley going after the eyes. Rake of the eyes, and he hurls Nagata into that ring post. Lot of excitement in Daly's place. Lot of excitement. Knee to the back of Nagata. Nagata goes down. We saw Nagata at Wrestle Kingdom this year. He was in that... what was it called? Was it called a Rambo or something? It was like that Royal Rumble thing at the start. He was one of the entrants in that. Moxley back into the ring. They're just advertising their Welcome Back tour as well that's coming up. Do you like Eva on the car? Well, I certainly like her more on the car than I do in the ring. Forearm strike. Nagata goes back into the corner. Clothesline by Moxley. Another one as well. Omega or Bucks or Good Brothers will probably cost Moxley the title, says James Chadwick. Well, just a 1 count for Moxley. Jake the Snake watching on. Lance Archer watching on. Little smile on the face of Jake the Snake. Nagata's body reminds me of Gypsy Joe, says Indiglow. 1971. Here we go. Nagata calling on Moxley. Moxley with a big kick. Nagata goes down. And a kick out by Nagata. And Moxley grabbing at the face and shouting down the camera. It's kind of cool, isn't it? It's kind of like a clash of generations. Middle rope. Oh, got caught. Back elbows by Moxley. Forearm strike by Nagata. Kick to the chest as well. And goes in with another stiff kick. Really laying it in. Could you imagine if WWE had done, like, had an agreement with New Japan and we'd got the Shield versus 3 New Japan stars? Like, that would have been amazing if we'd have got that kind of we could have had, like, War Games, actually, because you could have done Shield with Kurt. Could you remember Kurt, like, joined them for a one-off match? He was, like, an honorary Shield member, wasn't he? Triple H. Triple H was an honorary Shield member as well on one of the tours. There's a famous picture of Triple H in the Shield. So, I'm surprised they've not made a figure of that, actually. They did the Kurt Angle one. But, yeah, they could have done, like, Shield, maybe Kurt, Triple H versus, like, 5 New Japan stars in, like, a War Games. Oh, would have been awesome. This is sort of the closest that we're getting to it right now. Just Dean Ambrose versus Nagata. But Nagata is in control at the moment, firing in some stiff kicks. Dynamite in Cedar Park. We'll try to get to one of those shows, says Jimmy. But Spark says, we still don't know if Eva can actually wrestle. It's been 5 years since. Days, I like that Archer is watching since he held it after Mox vacated it for a short time, says Jordan. Nice German by Moxley. Nagata is down. Against the ropes goes Moxley. Clothesline. Big clothesline. 1, 2. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. Could have been Shield versus Bullet Club. Oh. Yes. Yes. That would have done. That would have done. Shield versus Bullet Club. That would have done. That would have been awesome. And I think Triple H being in with the Shield makes a lot of sense. Because, you know, it would have been New Japan versus WWE. And, you know, Triple H very much represents the business side, doesn't he now? You know, head of NXT. And, you know, he's going to want to stand up and lead the troops into war against New Japan. So maybe Triple H and the 3 Shield guys against 4 of Bullet Club would have been fire. Big superplex by Nagata, going for the cover. Moxley getting his shoulder up very close. Days, the amazing thing is that he still has amazing matches in New Japan on a consistent basis at the age of 52. That is amazing. Nagata is very much being controlled right now. Nagata has got the arm of Moxley. Oh, he's gone full on Undertaker. Eyes rolling back into his head, but Moxley gets his foot on the rope. This match looks good when you're all looking for in a match. Big forearm strike by Nagata. One of Antonio Inoki's favourites, says JR. These two trading blows back and forth. Bit of blood on the cheek of Jon Moxley. Goes against the ropes. Big boot to the face. Step up enziguri by Nagata. Moxley goes against the ropes. Clothesline. 2. Shoulder up. Shoulder up by Nagata. Headlock applied by Moxley. So, yeah, he's got some. I didn't see how he got busted open, but he got busted open somehow. This is awesome, is the chant. LB, shout out to you. Yeah, I'm really into it. I'm really, I was excited for this match. Forearm strike by Moxley. Another forearm strike. Nagata goes down. Tony's into it. Knees to the head by Moxley. Plants Nagata. 1, 2, 3. I was really enjoying that. Really enjoying it. I don't want them to overdo it. Like, I don't want to see New Japan stars coming in every single week. I think what they're doing so far has been great. We've seen Moxley against Kenta. Now we've seen Moxley against Nagata. You know, just work through some of these stars. You know, once every month, maybe? Something along those lines. I mean, he's got to defend that United States Championship. So, you know, once a month, maybe bring him in. And I wouldn't want to be doing much more than that, to be honest. Moxley lays that championship down and he bows to Nagata. A real show of respect. And Nagata bows to Moxley. I tell you what, I really like this. This is something you don't see in AEW. Shows of respect. A show of respect. Moxley holds up Nagata's arms. I don't want anyone to come out. I don't want anyone to attack. I don't want anyone to come out. I just want that match to be what it was, and I want it to end there. Darby Allin defending against Miro. The coronation of the Pinnacle tonight as well. Thunder Rosa is in action, but we don't know who against. Young Bucks against SCU. SCU will break up if they lose. Orange Cassidy is going to be taking on Pac as well. Kenny Omega will address his challenger tonight. Cody will make an announcement tonight. Man, there's so much. Do you think AEW will come to Salt Lake or Las Vegas? Because not going to an event is driving me nuts. I'm sure they'll go to Vegas at some point, yes. Double or Nothing kind of calls for it, doesn't it? I mean, I don't know when they will. But, yeah, I should imagine Vegas is very much going to be on their route when things get properly opened back up again. Right, we've got Inner Circle. Hide behind your victory. Sammy says, this is never over. We will never stop coming for you. Another match. Oh, I'm sure we'll get, yeah. They want a rematch. Is this Hikaru Shida? I don't know whose entrance this is. No. Christian. Oh, is this Christian? Oh, no, it's Cody. Okay, we've got the Cody announcement now. Here we go. Can't wait to see what they do with him. I would love Dana Brooke in AEW, says Jacko. Right, Cody announcement. Cody is out, yep. They need to come back to Salt Lake. The one thing that frustrates me about football is the amount they are paid to kick a ball around. Wrestling stars get next to nothing. Yeah, but you got to look at how much football draws and the TV deals they can get compared to wrestling. Cody looks like Max Headroom, says Butterspark. Fun fact, Boy hates McDonald's fries and chicken nuggets. I wonder what this is about. What do you think this is about? Let's throw it over to the chat. We've gone to commercial. We're 17 minutes into the show. Cody has come out and he's doing an announcement. What do you think this is about? What is Cody about to announce? What is he about to announce? Do you think it's something to do with Double or Nothing? Do you think it's I don't know, another tour? Is it another side project? I don't know. I really don't. I haven't heard any rumours. I seriously don't know. Have AEW got real beef with Cody? I heard that there was like a few little issues backstage, but I don't know that it's all that serious. These things can be blown out of proportion. So I'm sure there are disagreements backstage. I'd be stunned if there weren't. So yeah, I wouldn't pay that too much attention. Hopefully he's going to announce that he's getting that tattoo removed. Cody versus a Go-Go at Double or Nothing. It's got to be Double or Nothing, or maybe Brandy is about to have a baby. It's going to be Cody at night. It's a new talk show, says Esteban. The graphic they showed is going to be a Double or Nothing announcement, says L. Hicks. The announcement will be Double or Nothing based, says Damien. Fred said, what is your prediction for Miro versus Darby? Well, I think it's a tricky one. I think Darby is going to retain. I think something's going to cost Miro. I mean, could it be Kip Sabian? Because Kip Sabian kind of got spoken to, didn't he? And brutalised, and didn't he get his arm slammed in the door or something? I wonder if Kip Sabian's going to come out looking for revenge or something. I don't know. I mean, really, should it be that Miro just... I don't know, because Darby is so important for the future. I don't know if you want Miro beating him and doing it clean. So I could see Kip getting involved. I think either way, I can see Darby leaving with the belt. Could be as simple as announcing that there's going to be 100% fans back, says Daniel. That's true. James said maybe it's going to be Cody versus Shaq at Double or Nothing. Cody is pregnant, says Blazed Radio. Right, here we go. See what Cody's got to say for himself. Looks like he's going to school. He's got like a school tie on here in the UK. Looks like he's just come out of school. Hope it went well. Okay. I probably need headphones here. Do you see them creating a trios championship? They may do. There's been rumours of a trios championship. He's talking about being proud of being an American. Is this got to do with the fact that Go-Go's from the UK? Are they doing like a USA versus a UK thing? Because we'll mess you up. We will mess you up. So he's talking about Anthony and the fact Anthony's got a visa. He can do and say what he likes. This is weird. Okay. USA! I didn't realise there was issues between us. I didn't realise that the UK and the USA was like at war or so. I had no idea. But the England dream. Okay. He says they know how to make a wrestler over the pond. This is such a weird angle. A flag match. That's just what the world needs now, says Unbroken. I don't know what this is. I really don't know what this is. US versus UK is so 1776. Oh, we're going back to the glory days. We're talking about segregation now? What is this? I think Anthony Ogogo has knocked him silly. Straight up. I don't know if that punch hit him in the body or in the head. What are we... I don't know what's happening. Stop whining. I just wanted to talk show. Okay, so double or nothing. Here we go. Come on. Double or nothing. You versus Anthony Ogogo. Full capacity, yeah. He won't be a wrestling the American Nightmare. For one night. Oh, he's going to be wrestling as the American Dream. Versus the American Dream. JR says that's all I need to hear. Well, there we go. I mean, I don't know who asked for a UK versus USA feud. I can't imagine. Like, is everyone in America watching this going, finally, finally? This is what we've been waiting for. We're going to stick it to them Brits. I don't know. I can tell you that on this side of the pond, it's not something we've been really after. I can't say I've been looking for it. But here we are. I mean, I'm excited to see him bring back the American Dream. He said he won't change his presentation. It's just like what comes inside. So, you know, I don't... Maybe there'll be some polka dots in there. I'm not sure. I doubt it. But I think that... I like the fact that he's going to do that. I just don't know if this is the right feud for it, to be honest. I don't know if this is... I don't know. Maybe if the opponent was like Russian or something, it would be a bit too... Like, because it's like someone from the UK, you can have a bit of fun with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on, we're friends really, yeah? So, you know, we're only having fun. We're friends really. Whereas if it was like a Russian... I don't know. Does it get a little bit too close to the bone then? Is that... I don't know. Daniel says, this just in, the US presidency is going to be settled in a ladder match. Well, I thought what we just saw there was very strange. Very strange. I still like you, America. I still hope to come back over there one day. So American Dream isn't trademarked by WWE. Can't be. Can't be. America. That'd be good. MK Osborne. Imagine if they did an Adrian street fight. Austin says, we love you too. Ignore what Cody says. Yeah, Austin, and ignore what Anthony Ogogo's doing. He doesn't represent us. This is them. This is on them. They don't speak for nations, do they? Anthony Ogogo doesn't represent the whole of the UK. I mean, in fairness, he did at the Olympics. So, but not now. I just hope this doesn't spiral and turn into, like, military warfare. Do you know what I mean? What's going to happen if Boris and Biden hear about this falling out and it all spirals? Right, Young Bucks taking on SCU. Jimmy said, I still like the UK. I hope to get a chance to visit someday. Have only been in London airports. Oh, you should. London is amazing. It is amazing. It's... I can't remember who said it. I want to say it's like William Blake or someone like this. Said, if you get tired of London, you get tired of life. Because it's got everything. I mean, it's very like New York. You know? It's just got everything. It's got places you can visit. It's got history. It's got great shopping. It's got great nightlife. It's got great restaurants. It's just got everything. It's just got everything. But it is great. Everyone should visit London at some point. Although not Cody. I don't want Cody coming over. He's upset me now. Trying to start World War III. Right, we're underway with Young Bucks against SCU. Anthony Ogogo was a crap wrestler. Why is a single punch ending wrestlers? Well, they're just trying to get over his boxing skills, aren't they? And just showing that his striking is... I mean, I would do the same, in all fairness, if I was booking it. You know, he's a boxer, and so that should be what his go-to is. It should be... Every wrestler should have strengths and weaknesses. Every wrestler should have a weakness, something that can be exploited, but every wrestler should have a certain strength. And you should really look to kind of lean on those strengths and weaknesses to tell different stories during matches. And I really like the fact that Anthony Ogogo has got, you know, incredible punching power. But the problem is, what's going to happen when you get him down on the ground? What's going to happen when you do some proper mat-based wrestling? Because that is Anthony Ogogo out of his depth. He doesn't have that knowledge. So I like it. I like it. Look at all the love from us Americans, says William. It's coming right back at you. It's coming right back at you, William. Days, like you said, who knew that the US and the UK was at war? I don't know. Well, you know, if we found out one thing tonight from AEW, apparently, you know, there's tensions that I wasn't even aware of. Right, SCU in control at the moment. I mean, to be honest, I think he just wants to bring the American Dream thing back. And I think they've looked at the roster and gone, is there anyone from a different nation? We could maybe go with a Canadian. How about someone from the UK? We're not going to go there all that much. We'll probably go like once a year or something. So we could afford to upset them now. Because that's what they've done. They've upset me. Oh, a little bit of macho man impression there from Nick Jackson. Or is it Matt Jackson, sorry. Oh, yeah. That's going to be awesome, by the way. This Sunday, A&E, they're doing a Shawn Michaels one. Looking forward to that. Right, Young Bucks are in control now. Hype Man says, don't listen to Cody. Oh, you guys are the best. I thought it was a double or nothing announcement, not World War III. I know. I don't know. The biggest problem with SCU is that they are short. Still to come, we got Thunder Rosa. We are just over a quarter of the way through the show. The Bucks are annoying, says James. What we is saying and what Days is seeing is different, says William. A big difference between us and UK is people in the UK don't care that they live in the UK. No, I like living in the UK. I like living in the UK. It is a good country to live in. I wish the weather was a bit better, but other than that, maybe the food. Every time you see those kind of, you know, on the Food Network, you've got like all those lovely specialities in America. Do you know what I mean? Like is it the Philadelphia melt? And do you know what I mean? All these great meats that are being barbecued and cooked, and you look at like all these like food joints and you go, oh man, we ain't got anything like that. Well, we've got some decent places, but nothing on that level. We do have some specialities. Do you know what I mean? If you go to Cornwall, then you could have like a Cornish pasty, and obviously if you go to Scotland, you could have haggis. The only problem is they're all awful. So, and they don't compare to the nice things that you have over there. So, other than food and weather, which you could argue are two very important things. UK's good. Scoop slam. Springboard leg drop. That was nice by Kazarian. The only thing I like about AEW is in every match there's blood, says Hype Man. Right. SCU in control. They're awful, quote Days. Haggis isn't awful, says List of Jericho. Do you know what? In all fairness, I mean, it is awful when you say what it is. There's no denying that. It's, do you know what? I don't actually know. I know it's in, like, sheep's intestines. There'll be some people that might not know what haggis is. Here we go. Oh, my God. I'll read it to you. Haggis is a savoury pudding containing sheep's pluck. You get sheep's pluck, guys, and then you're thinking, like, oh, I bet that's the best part of the sheep. Oh, I don't think I've ever had pluck from a sheep. I bet that's lovely. I bet that's the nicest bit. Tell us, Days, what's the pluck? Which bit is the pluck of the sheep? Well, I'll tell you. It's the heart, the liver, and the lungs, all minced together with onions and oatmeal and spices and salt. And then it's all encased inside the animal's stomach. Gonna take the heart, gonna take the lungs, gonna take the liver, put it in the stomach. There you go. Do you know what I mean? Come on. It's a hard sell, isn't it? It's a hard sell. I don't think after that you're going to be like, oh, can I have some? That was delish. You know that heart, liver, lungs in a stomach thing I just had? Can I have some more? Have you got any eyes or anything you can chuck in? Well, where's the brain? Where's the brain? Can we chuck the brain in there? So, there we go. That is haggis, my friends. Why do you think they drink so much whiskey in Scotland? It's because they're eating haggis and they need something to knock themselves out, to take the shame away. Need to forget what they've done. Oh, look at this. Look at this blood. Horrific blood. Daniels. Yeah, that is a lot of blood. Doesn't... Wow. That might need stitches. I thought that was a Scottish thing. It is a Scottish thing. It is a Scottish thing. Oh, look at this. Blood. He is down over by the railing. High kick. So right now, SCU are outnumbered. 2-on-1. Matt Jackson just having a quick look. He's got Kazarian up. Looking for a buckle bomb. This is looking good for the Bucks. It's looking very good for the Bucks. Kazarian is still fighting. 1, 2. I don't understand. The referee could have counted 3 then. The referee could have counted 3. The shoulders were down. 1, 2. He could have counted. He could easily have counted 3 there. Back body drop to the outside goes Nick Jackson. Scoop slam. Kazarian has rolled up. Matt Jackson in the ring, but Gallows is providing a distraction. SCU are going to lose. I think so. I think so. Kazarian has got Matt Jackson. Nick Jackson is down. He couldn't get the power bomb. Looks like he's going for a Styles clash. Styles clash? 1, 2. And Nick Jackson makes the save. Styles Clash. SCU going to lose. Eating brain is a contributing cause for dementia. Is that true? Is that true? This is awesome, chant. Oh, went for a cutter, couldn't get it. Super kick by I thought they were going for the Meltzer driver. They didn't. Hit Daniels gets back in and makes the save. Missed with a kick there by Nick Jackson. Daniels. Boom, plants him. That's great work. So Daniels is back in. He's dragging Kazarian over to the corner. Makes the tag. Daniels, who's an absolute mess. Spear by Matt Jackson. And throwing in some big strikes to the head. And that blood gushing again by the looks of it. This is a good little match. I do like this match. Very entertained by this. And here we go. Matt goes for a kick. Kick to the midsection. Going for that double underhook. Big back body drop. This match is good. I agree. John said, I dare you to eat haggis and lutefisk together. You won't be able to keep it down. Is that lutefisk like the Norwegian rotten fish thing? Oh, just horrific. Sounds horrific. Got the blood all over them trainers. I'm sorry. I love you. Matt Jackson says, I'm sorry, I love you. Oh, kick out. That was nice. I like that spot. That's a good spot. I like this match. This is the best. I think it's the best match I've seen so far this week. I really like this match. Uranagi by Daniels. Daniels. Oh, he's botched it. Moonsault. He does get it. If at first you don't succeed, try again. I mean, in all fairness, he's absolutely busted open, but botch from Daniels, but I'm going to forgive him because right now he looks like Two-Face. Super kick by Matt Jackson, and he throws a canister at Daniels, and that should do it. 1, 2, shoulder up, kicks out. I'm really pleased he kicked out of that. Man, this is brutal stuff. The blood is all over Matt Jackson. It's all over his trainers. It's all over his face. Blood is absolutely everywhere. That'll do it. 2, 3. Yeah. Bucks win. Look at the blood all over Matt Jackson's face. I think that was a really good match. I don't think it's 5 stars. I don't think it's 5 stars because you did get the botch. I didn't need the canister being thrown in and stuff like that. But I do think it's very, very good. But not 5 stars. Boo the Bucks. Young Bucks matches are overbooked, to be honest. Yeah, it was overbooked. I'm just looking at people in the Fight TV chats, people saying that's an easy 5 stars. But then this guy says definitely not 5 stars. He says 3.5. Ollie says 4.5. Sam says 4. Feel free to let us know. What do you think of that match? Out of 5, what would you score it? I'd be interested to know. I might give that match a 4. I might give that match a 4. I thought it was really good. They're tearing apart a locker room, Moxley and Kingston. 3 says Lone Star Friend. 3.5 says J Brock. 5-star matches seem to be exclusive to AEW, says John. LSW says 4, no higher. Austin says 3.5. Tar Heel says 4. Capsman says 3. Brony says 3.25. Lister Jericho 2.5. I must say, actually, these scores are lower than I was expecting. 2 says Shaquem. 3.5. 4. 3.25. 3.5. 3. Lots of 3s, 3.5s, things along those lines. There's a couple of 4s in there. 4.2 out of 5. Joe says 5 out of 5. 3.25. 3.75. Sean Reset says 3. Bonkers LFC says 3.4. Jason says 5. 4 out of 5 says L Hicks. 4.2 says Mayhem. 5 says Fate Ross Fate. 2 says Devontae. 4 says Bruce. 1 says Cliff. LB says 3.75. Charlie says 4.2. Brony says 3.25. L Hicks says 4. Taboy says 4. It's interesting. I would say on average probably 3.5 from the community. I think that's about fair. I don't know. I was quite into it. I was enjoying it. I thought there was some good action. I didn't think that they did. I didn't think they went too far. I thought the moves they were doing complemented the match. A lot of the times it can just be flip, 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 flip. You know, high spot, high spot, high spot, high spot. This kind of complemented the action a bit more. I thought the blood really added to it. Shame about the botch, but I'm sort of going to forgive it to a degree because, I mean, you couldn't see out of half his face. So, do you know what I mean? Like, blood was all down here, and I'm sure he was feeling a bit queasy. So, I can sort of forgive it. But in all fairness, don't go for the move. Do you know what I mean? Don't go for the move. Don't go for that move if you're not feeling 100%. But in all fairness, it sort of led to his own downfall. I didn't need the canister and Gallows getting involved. That's where the match is losing marks, in all fairness. But I thought it was decent. I thought it was good. I really enjoyed Moxley and Nagata as well. The Cody promo is just a bit strange to me, but I do like the American Dream announcement. This is pretty solid show. I'm quite enjoying tonight. I'm enjoying this. Maybe more than NXT. I think this is good. We're sneaking up towards the halfway point. Kazarian and Daniels hugging during the commercial break. And look at that blood all over their face. So SCU are no more. Right, we got Christian backstage. The only thing that frustrates me about football is the amount they're paid. Oh, we spoke about that. 49 minutes in, and it's better than Raw. Dude, 1 minute in, it was better than Raw. Send any member of Team Taz that you want. I'm going to be standing in the ring, says Christian, next week. You send any member of Team Taz. I'm going to win the Casino Battle Royal. For me, the use of blood just isn't special. We want wrestling. If the story needs it, then go for it. But AEW are using it for the sake of it. Stupid, really. It is a shame. Well, I don't know if that was planned, to be honest. I don't know if they planned to use blood in that. But in all fairness, SCU breaking up feels like a decent deal. In fact, I'm surprised it wasn't the main event. But saying that, I mean, was this for the tag titles? I kind of feel like SCU splitting up should be the main event. Right, here comes freshly squeezed OC. OC making his way out, so it looks like our match that's going to take us from hour 1 into hour 2 is going to be Orange Cassidy taking on Pac. He's come out with Best Friends and Chris Statlander. I really like it. I like him with Chris Statlander. I think that is working for me. Here's Orange Cassidy. People really into him still. Which is good. And I think I could see him winning tonight. I could see him somehow getting past Pac, but it won't be easy. Pac is a very good wrestler. Very good wrestler. So, I think this is, number 1 taking on number 2. In the rankings. I could see Orange winning this, but Pac will most likely win, says Big Boy Dally. Freshly Squeezed Boobs would be a great tag team name, says William Hensey. It's UK versus US again. Oh my god, what's going on? They are desperate, aren't they? They are desperate to start this war. Even all these little subliminal messages they're sending us. You're absolutely right. Why don't they just bring out a picture of Winston Churchill and burn it? Right, we've got Pac in the middle of the ring with Orange Cassidy. Orange puts his glasses on Pac. He looks quite good. Pac didn't appreciate that. How many glasses get destroyed of Orange Cassidy's? He must have loads. I mean, by now, I'm sure he's learned not to get expensive sunglasses. He plants Pac 1, 2 count. Orange getting the early advantage. Pac is a flipping beast. OC had better watch out, says Heather. Pac will beat the pulp out of Orange Cassidy, but OC will pull the upset, says Andrew. Lily would beat Bliss. Orange Cassidy wears a big compression spandex suit underneath all the jeans. I was surprised when I saw him changing. Right, we've got Pac on the outside, Orange Cassidy on the outside as well. As we said, we're about 6 minutes away from the halftime scores. Into the railings goes Pac. I don't like Orange in this match, says Lone Star Friend. US versus UK, baseball, softball versus cricket. I love cricket. In all fairness, I watch England. I don't really watch any other teams. But I do. If England are playing, I'll watch. I agree. If it's an injury or needed for the story, fair enough. But sometimes it seems to be there for no reason. Alex, shout out to you. Still to come, we've got the coronation of the Pinnacle. And wow, hard into the railings goes Pac. They've got to be careful with that. Certainly when the crowds come back. And again, he chose to... Oh, he throws him to the other side. Pac goes over the railings. Even though I like Darby, I want to see Miro win tonight, says Big Boy Dally. William says Ray-Bans are classy. They are classy. Has he fixed his glasses? What's going on? How did he fix them? How did he fix them? How has he got... Or has he got a spare pair or something? Well, they're broken now as well. They're on the floor. Pat goes over the railings, stomps on Orange Cassidy. Joe Biden says we're not allowed to watch you. All right, well, I can believe it. Apparently our nations are at war. Why did the woman interviewing Christian look and dress like Mary Ann from Gilligan's Island? Because it was her. Stomped by Pac. We're back into the ring now. Pac in control. Darby Allin was on ESPN this week doing an interview on his own. He's the first AEW to break into superstardom. I'm not sure if that qualifies as superstardom. Be it just doing an interview on your own on ESPN. I kind of think you have to be on like multiple talk shows and be the talk of the town and to be superstardom. He might get there. No shade. He might get there. He's definitely one for the future. But I'm not sure he's there yet. Sean says, I'm happy that Orange Cassidy got the Pixies song. Yeah, I think it works for him. Is there a cricketer named Jiminy? There's a cricketer named Jimmy Anderson, who's our best ever bowler in England. Still plays. Into the railings goes Orange Cassidy this time. So they've chucked each other into the railings. We've gone into the ring a little bit. Now we're back out the ring. This time it's Orange Cassidy that's getting thrown around. Into those railings also. Hold your horses, not superstardom by any means, says Butterspark. American soccer versus European football. Right, we're going back into the ring now. I've got to say, this match isn't grabbing me at the moment. It's just been a lot of throwing each other into railings. Stomped by Pac. Double or Nothing Fan Fest. Live stage shows, meet and greets, and more. Saturday, May 29th, 12 p.m. till 5 p.m. They've got like a little access. That's cool. That's cool. Is Orange trying to get some colour? I don't think so. I'd hope not. This doesn't need it. Dropkick, missile dropkick by Pac, and kip up by Pac as well. We're in the ring. I don't get the hype around Orange Cassidy, says Brony. We've got Pac climbing up Orange Cassidy down in the middle of the ring. Another missile dropkick. Kip up again. So Orange Cassidy just getting thrown into railings. Now just getting missile dropkicked repeatedly. Where are the figure news and toy hunt videos? Toy hunts haven't been possible because of the shops being closed. And to be honest, I've still not had like a vaccine yet. Because they're doing all the cool people last. So I was waiting for the shops. I was waiting to see when I was going to get that. I was waiting for the shops to restock. Toy hunt won't be too far away. And figure news, I don't know. I mean, there hasn't been tons. Whenever they've done like shown new figures, we've done streams on them and, you know, looked at them. So we have been doing stuff. It's just pandemic. Pandemic's been getting in the way. OC is naturally red. Us fair-skinned people get red like that easily, says Heather. Capsman said, Days, the UK has got a national baseball and softball team in the Olympics and the World Baseball Classic. I didn't know that. I honestly didn't know that. Trust me, those people can walk down the street and no one going to be stopping them for an autograph, right? No, I don't think anyone knows who they are. Unless they've got, like, GB baseball team jackets on and they're carrying their bats. Do you know? I don't know why they carry it like that, but they're carrying their bats and they've got their mitts and they've got their balls. Then you'd probably go, oh, I reckon that's the GB baseball team. Even then, they won't get stopped for autographs. Into the middle turnbuckle goes Pac. Pace of this has been quite slow. I do feel sorry for them because they are having to follow that, what I thought was a really good match from Young Bucks and SCU. Nice thrust kick, super kick by Pac. OC goes down. Middle of the ring. Picks him up. Oh, sit down powerbomb. 2. Oh, I thought that was it. 2 count for Pac. Orange Cassidy just got his shoulder up. I picked up another watermelon today. That's great. That's great news. That is great news. Read today that people in their 30s will start getting vaccines tomorrow. I'm still waiting, says Alex. Well, I haven't read when the cool people get theirs. You know what I mean? The movers, the shakers. I'm in that group. I'm a mover and a shaker. Orange Cassidy on the outside. Little graphic pops up saying still to come. We got Thunder Rosa. I created a Wrestling Days character. You've been downloaded, and I'm using you in WWE 2K19. I made you too short. Shout out to you. It's great that I can disappoint and underwhelm in real life and also in a video game. So, very excited to see you go on a losing streak now in 2K19. I'd like to think when I walk out in 2K19, the crowd just, like, go to the bathroom. Do you know what I mean? I'd like it if they're... When I walk out, does the crowd go, oh... That would be cool. That's the reaction I'd be looking for. Oh... You know, like all the joy and the energy is just sucked out of the room. Oh, do you want a drink? You can actually hear people saying, do you want some popcorn? Actually, I need to go to the toilet. Do you want a hot dog or anything? You can actually hear that in the crowd as I come down waving like this. I'm so happy. Oh. Headlock at the moment. Grounded OC. Coming up to his feet, though, and big strike by Pac, and Orange Cassidy goes down in the corner. All Pac at the moment. It's all Pac. Daniel said, I think Orange has got a real problem. Aubrey is checking on him. Aubrey's having a word with Pac, getting him to back up a little bit. Yeah, I don't quite understand what she's doing, to be honest. Look, Orange Cassidy's down. I don't get what Aubrey's doing. Did she just give the... Doctors are coming over. They want to check on... Well, hang on. If he can't continue, you surely end the match. What's this? I mean, I must admit, this can't be planned, because it's We need a winner, says Don. Orange Cassidy from behind. Hits Pac in the back of the head. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. This seems overbooked to me. I don't know. I don't know if that's a real injury or not. But the fact that Kenny's attacked, you know, is Orange going to get the win now or something? But if so, why is Aubrey? So Orange Cassidy is injured. If he's injured, you end the match and you know, Pac wins by ref stoppage. Now Pac has been attacked from behind and the match is continuing. Like, as a sporting contest, this is a mess. Aubrey ends up giving it a draw. That was a awful, I mean, like, awful referee performance. And obviously, I'm guessing it's a storyline. It's not her fault. She's just following the script, but... Don says there's no winner, so we've got the night off. Tony is coming over. Tony Schiavone. What's Tony going to say? Triple threat? Triple threat? Maybe Cassidy was supposed to win. It just seems a mess. Triple threat. So that makes it seem like this was planned. Tony said he was just told by Tony Khan that it's going to be a triple threat. So it's going to be Kenny versus Pac versus Orange Cassidy at Double or Nothing. She did do this. She was definitely in on it. See Wrestling, shout out to you. Yeah, that was a bit... Kenny says, back to Winnipeg. I mean, like, I can't remember the last time we got a triple threat for the title. Have we ever had a triple threat for the AEW title? I don't know that we have, to be honest. So, I'm not like totally against it. I just wish we'd have got there a different way, you know. We were backstage. We've got loads of stuff on the floor in the changing rooms. We've got the Young Bucks. We've got Gallows and Anderson. They're ranting and raving. What are you going to do about it? That is quite the tie-dye top, isn't it? That is quite the tie-dye. He is channeling his inner superstar Billy Graham. What was the point of that match? Well, it was to end in a draw, wasn't it? End in a draw, get to the triple threat. I do think they could have got there a different way. We're not too far away from the halftime scores. Right, we just got a promo at the moment, the Young Bucks. We're just backstage. Books are just tiny little gremlins, says Butterspark. Gallows is going all dude love, says CJ Jas 32HD. What awful audio that was, says Big Boy Dally. The audio is awful. I have to have it turned down, so I can't comment on the audio quality. But considering a lot of you are saying the same thing, I think it's affecting a few people. Right, commercial break. Halftime scores. Get in your halftime scores. What do you think about the show so far? I think it's quite good. I think it's all right. I don't think it's perfect by any means. I think there's definitely a few things, like the finish of that last match, that I would have changed personally, but by and large, I think it's quite good. But what do you think? What do you think about the show? Heather thinks it's a 7.75. Shaquem thinks it's a 5. That wasn't threatening at all, says T-Tig. Lone Star Friend says 6.8. T-Tig says 7.5. Brandon says 3.5. Capsman says 7.5. Rated R Wrestling says 1 out of 6. Mayhem says 8. List of Jericho says B-. Shaquem says 5. Esteban says 7.5. Those Kids Act Dumb says it's an actual wrestling show. LSW says 7.5. Sonny said, I'm not watching, but it sounds like a 5. Heather says 7.75. Bonkers says 4. 1987 Big Fan says 5. Mayhem says 8. Spike says 8. To Boy 123 says 7. Mike says way better than Raw, but I digress. Brad says 4.5 out of 100. Brad G says 7.5. Brian says 6.75. Oh, hang on, it just jumped. Brony 7.25. J Brock 11 says 7. Big Boy Daddy says 7. Normal Guy says 7. Mark says 6. Laser Ray says 8.25 out of 10. Jimmy says 7. The last segment brought it down a little bit. Bonkers says 4. William says 7.8. Brony says 7.25. Brandon says 3. James Chadwick says 7.25. Damien says about 7. Magic says 5.5. Johnny says 10. Tall Paul 2000 says 7.5. Mike says 8. Johnny Gardner says 10. Grant said, I would have rather Orange just win, but I'm happy that he'll be getting a title shot. Andrew says 7.5. Brad says 4.5. Those Kids Act Dumb says 3 stars out of 5. No Darby Allin. We will be getting Darby Allin. We got 45 minutes to go. Of course, he'll be taking on Miro in what I guess is the main event. We've still got Thunder Rosa. We've still got a few things coming up. But 45 minutes left in the show. Sean Reset says 7. Christine says 8.5. Brendan says 2. And we are back. We are back. So quite a mixed bag there, but I felt myself saying 7 a lot. Right, we're backstage with Dark Order and Hangman Page. I like this group. Seven, says Austin. Hangman and the Dark Order. I do like them. What did Cody do? What did he say in that promo? Apparently the UK and the US are at war, and he is going to be the American dream so that he can fend off the evil English, the evil British. And Anthony Ogogo is taking the freedoms of America for granted and all this kind of stuff. And it's a political nightmare. It is a political nightmare. Right, we've got the Pinnacle making their way out. I mean, the problem is that America might, you might not get any haggis from the UK. If this continues, there could be a haggis shortage in the US. I mean, you think it's bad now with the gas shortage. What are you going to do if if it all breaks down and relations completely fall apart, yeah? And you don't get any haggis out of the UK? Don't come crying to me then. Don't come crying to me then. You can thank Cody Rhodes. You'll have to make your own. Lungs, heart, liver, stuffed in sheep stomachs. Good luck with that. Right, we've got Pinnacle in the ring. MJF is wearing a crown. Joaquin said, actually, it's the political dream now. The political dream. He says, I'm the demo god. You will now refer to me as the greatest of all time. Don't just bow to me, bow to the greatest group. So, there we go. MJF living his best life right now. King Corbin is all elite. Yeah, here we go, Austin. We ranked number 1 on cable last week, says MJF. MJF said we had a Canadian hero in the match last week and his name was Sean Spears. That'd be a good little name, wouldn't it? Sean Spears, the Canadian hero. I think it was because of Jericho, says Big Boy Dally. Wardlow is talking to the girls. Good boy. Good guy. He's got his priorities right, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? MJF can deal with the crowd. Wardlow's at the back with the ladies. MJF says, do you want a rematch? The crowd say yeah. My answer is no. So, there we go. MJF says no. We're going to hear from Tully. Jericho and the match type, obviously. Whatever happened to Pineapple Pete? What did happen to Pineapple Pete? Actually, that's a good question. What did happen to Pineapple Pete? Corbin is easily better than MJF, says Austin. Someone smacked the gum out of MJF's mouth. Has Britt shown up? No. Let's not focus on this. Let's not focus on the end of the match. It's some old man in the ring, middle of the ring that's lost his way. Tully says, look, you got 5 of the greatest looking women that this city has got to offer. They enjoyed that. The women loved that. There's a very expensive watch to mark the occasion in the ring. Okay. I thought you'd froze them. I was just watching. I'm waiting to see where it goes. I was trying to see if they'd show us the watch. They've all looked at the watch and gone, wow, and they're hugging and everything. But I want to see the watch. I want to see what the watch looks like. They love that watch. Tully says the Pinnacle is at the top of the world and we're looking down on everyone else. And there's a horn beeping. It's going to be Sue, guys. It's going to be Sue. It's the MyPillow guy. Right, so it's Hager, it's Sammy, it's Santana. What are they dragging? A little bit of the bubbly. Oh, he's got some kind of hose. He's got some kind of hose. He's going to spray them with a little bit of bubbly. It's going to be Stone Cold and the beer truck moment. The girls have backed away. There's Jericho. Where is all the bubbly? It's not like a big tanker, is there? Jericho says, do we get a rematch? Yes or no? I hate this, says Big Boy Dally. MJF says, once again, my answer is no. AEW equals thieves. There we go. Well, I don't know where it's all coming from. So, they're being sprayed. It's not... Oh, I don't know. It's okay. I don't know. I really feel like AEW do a lot of stuff WWE have done, but just not as good. This is certainly better, though, than the ending of last week. A champagne shower. That's a lot of bubbly. That is a lot of bubbly. Why didn't they just run away? How long ago did WWE do a very similar angle? Oh, it was a while ago. They've done it a few times. They did Milko Mania, of course. And they did it with the beer truck as well. If you lose. If you lose, the inner circle have got to break up. Take it or leave it. If you want a match, we can have a match. But if you lose, the inner circle have got to break up. Bit of a shame that we're getting that on the same show where SCU had to break up. groups breaking up, you know, that it doesn't happen all the time, but when it does happen, they come along like buses. It's alright. But a serious stadium stampede, that doesn't sound fun. Oh, God, take that over what we got last time. If it is going to be serious and we're not having people changing clothes underwater, you know, and we're not going to have Jericho giving Judas effects to mascots, I'd be really down for seeing that. Was the Stone Cold thing done by Y2J? It was done by Stone Cold. To be fair, most people that watch AEW weren't alive when Stone Cold did it. It's quite a famous clip. I'm pretty sure they will have seen it. It's one of those that gets shown quite a bit. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't mind them going back and using some of that older stuff. A lot of stuff in wrestling is recycled. We spoke about this before. So, I haven't really got a problem with them doing it. If you're going to do it better than WWE. Like, you are going to be compared to those things. You're going to be compared to when Stone Cold did it. So, if you're going to be compared, make sure the comparison is a strong one. And that just wasn't as good, to be honest. So, if you're going to do it and you're not going to do it as good, you'd have to... I really think you have to question, is it worth doing? It's like, you know, last week when he got thrown off the top. Everyone's going to compare you to Mick Foley and, you know, other big spots like that. If you're going to do it, it's got to be as good. And if it's not as good, don't do it. Don't do it. I do think that's a bit of a problem with AEW at the moment. We're just seeing it quite often. Why is AEW stipulation so bad? First, the Young Bucks lost versus FTR. They would have lost the opportunity for the tag titles. Cody with the AEW title. SCU breaking up. And now this, says LeBron fan. The beer truck and the milk truck was better than the ATV, says Big Boy. Does the UK have a president? No, we got a queen. And it's not Beyonce. Cornette is going to lose his mind over this episode, says Kyle. I think it's been all right, actually. I don't think there's been anything here that's really offended. I wasn't offended by the that spray thing. Let's not get it wrong. I just think if it's not going to be better than what WWE did, don't do it. But there's been nothing offensive. I think it's been an all right episode. I'm probably more, you know, this is true. I'm probably more into AEW right now than I have been for a long time. You know, not that long ago, I would watch it and there'd be something during the show that would really make my eyes roll and, oh, why have they done this? But we haven't had that this week. So, there we go. That's an improvement. Right, what have we got coming up now? Britt Baker. Here we go. Britt Baker sitting down with JR. Austin was the first angle. So she says, "Isn't it poetic that Sheeda broke my nose? Look at where we are now." The spot looked better than Kevin Owens at Hell in a Cell, says Paul Carpenter. Jimmy says, why are you saying AEW is copying everything WWE has done? This is the only thing. No, there's been lots of... We've said before, in wrestling, a lot of stuff is recycled. I'm not sitting here saying that everything that AEW is doing is copying, but there is a lot of stuff. And it's natural, isn't it? Because WWE has been going since the 60s. So, of course, and they've been doing weekly shows, like twice weekly. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of comparisons. Of course, there's going to be a lot of things they're going to do you're going to be able to go, well, WWE did that in the Attitude Era, did that in Ruthless Aggression, they did that in the Golden Era or whatever it might be. I mean, look, earlier in the show, you had Matt Jackson saying, I'm sorry, I love you. Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, he's having a little bit of fun with it, but, you know, there's lots and lots and lots in the shows that you can look at and go, you know, WWE have done that, WWE have done that. And what we just saw was a real obvious one. A real obvious one. Do you think when they were planning that, they never spoke about Stone Cold doing it? I can't believe that. Or Milk-O-Mania, I can't believe that. They were such big moments. You know, at vehicles coming into an arena where they're spraying, like, liquid into a ring. Like, it's not something that you see all that often. So... call it copying, call it inspired, call it whatever you want, but it was at least inspired by. And I just go back to my original point. If you're not going to do it better, I really wouldn't be doing it at all. It does just make you seem a bit like a B show. And they're better than that because they've got some great talent and they've got, you know, that segment was still all right. But, yeah, I wish they would get out and stop doing that. Chucking someone off the top of the cage last week that we spoke about. Just, if you're not going to make it look good, don't do it. Right, I don't know who this lady is. I didn't see her name. Allure, I think her surname was. So, Thunder Rosa in action. Jenny Allure? I don't know what it was. Allure. I'll go with Allure. Everything is recycled. Oh, Jimmy, no, you're fine. You're fine. These are conversations that I welcome. Because this is what we're here to do, isn't it? We're here to talk about what we're seeing, and you know, there's going to be people that are like really into AEW that are going to be quite protective over it. There's going to be like diehard WWE fans that are going to be like just really against everything. I sort of pride myself on the fact that I try to give things a chance, but yeah, I do just try and call it as I see it. But it does make for very interesting conversations. And it does make for, you know, there's a lot of good stuff that can then come out of those kind of debates. So I always welcome them. I mean, honestly, if you can't come in here and respectfully, you know, ideally we're all respectful, but if you can't come in here and respectfully share your opinions, what's the point? Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's a pretty sorry state of the world, isn't it, if you can't do that? I understand on Twitter, it's difficult at times to share your honest opinions, but hopefully in here you can. I mean, the only thing I would say is if I see it and I disagree with it, I'll say why I disagree with it, and I'll give my 2 cents in on it, but you can still stand your ground and say, respectfully, I still stand by what I said or whatever, so I would hope that people feel comfortable to share their opinions. That's the thing, innit? I mean, wrestling is a bit like music in the sense of there's so many different styles, and there's so many different bands, and there's so many different things that people enjoy, like such a variety. And wrestling is exactly like that. There's such a variety of things that you can do. Like, there's people that like the supernatural stuff. There's people that like, mat-based wrestling. There's people that like the high-flying stuff. There's people that like it to be sports-orientated. There's people that like it to be sports entertainment-orientated. So you've got this big spectrum, loads of different things that you can do. And, yeah, I mean, people in the chat are going to be all over those different spectrums. We spoke before, so... in the chat to agree on anything apart from the fact that Raw isn't good enough. That's the only thing I would expect people to agree on. If there's anyone that thinks Raw is a great show, we got problems then. We've got problems. Thunder Rosa won that match, by the way. It was a quick little win for her. It was just a squash thing, and we are moving on. They're just running down the Double or Nothing card, which is Sunday, May 30th. And probably move into the main event now, are we? Yeah. Up next, Darby Allin taking on Miro. TNT Championship match. So let's change the graphic. So they're giving this a little bit of time, which is good to see. We've got Jade Cargill backstage. Paul Carpenter, shout out to you. I'll get to your comment in a sec, bud. Tony asks Jade, who's going to handle your business? She does look great, doesn't she? I'm my own boss. Okay, there we go. That took no time at all, did it? Right, Paul Cummins said, Days, did you watch the boxing match of Alvarez versus JD? What did you think? JD, do you mean Billy Joe Saunders at the weekend? I thought it was very close. People seemed at the time to be a little bit split on it, actually. We had people in the chat that were like really heavily saying that Billy Joe was ahead. We had people in the chat saying Alvarez was ahead. And then I was in the middle going, I think going into round 8, I was like, or after round 8, I was 4-4, 4 rounds each. I mean, I thought it was really, really close. But I think when they looked at the judges' scorecards, unsurprisingly, they had Alvarez ahead. That was no shock there. But I thought it was quite a close fight. I thought Saunders was doing well. I didn't really think there was many moments where he was in any kind of real danger, and he'd managed to get a few shots off on Alvarez. A couple of moments maybe where he was getting backed against the ropes, and I definitely wanted to see him, getting out of being against the ropes. But I thought that it was all right. I thought the stoppage was good. Was that the one you mean? Because, yeah, I thought it was decent. I thought it was a decent fight. I enjoyed watching it. I thought it was really close. And I thought the stoppage was fair, to be honest. I mean, he had to have surgery and everything, and it would have been awful, wouldn't it, if that had continued, that fight. So they scored Billy within like 2 rounds. It was split. Like, they all had Alvarez winning, but I think 2 of them had Alvarez winning comfortably. One of them had it quite close, I recall. I can't remember the exact scores, but I do remember 2 of them had Alvarez quite comfortable. One of them had it quite close. I had it even closer, whereby I had it like 4-4. But, yeah, I thought, I was entertained by it. I really enjoyed it. Who should Canelo's next fight be? That Caleb Plant is his name. I think he's got one of the belts. Canelo's just after belts, isn't he? So I think it'll be Caleb. I think he's called Caleb Plant. We've had a beer bath. Do we call that a bubbly bath? Yes, it was a bubbly bath. A lovely bubbly bath. Tell me that Rosa won. She did. She did. I like Darby Allin. I can see him doing cameos in TV shows. His gimmick can go beyond the ring, said those kids act dumb. Austin said, where is Bray? I don't know what. Do you know what? I don't know. Joking aside, I don't know where Bray is. I mean, I can only imagine that they are just like filming loads of Firefly Funhouse episodes and stuff like that. And then they're just going to unleash it all in like a few weeks' time. Unless he's spending some more time with his family or whatnot. I don't know. We're with Darby Allin at the moment. And is this his old house, is it? Is that where he used to live? I like this. I really like this. I love this like glimpse into like his life. And we're seeing like where he was and like it looks a bit dark and I know exactly who Darby is. I like this. This is really good. It's really good. I love Darby so much, says the boy. This is a Seattle skate park, says Spike. That was good. I really like that. Just a little glimpse into Darby Allin. Just a little bit more behind the scenes, added to the character. I mean, did it tell us anything groundbreaking? No, but I don't know, man. It's just interesting. You know, you're not getting that with the likes of Humberto Carrillo or... You know what I mean? It's good. It's through the Darby keyhole, says Dave in real life. James Chadwick said it was 78-74. The other one had it 77-75. Shout out to you, James. Yeah, I do remember the one having it closer than the others. Thoughts on Moxley's new theme? It was a tribute to Anita, the father of deathmatch wrestling. When Anita walked down in the Tokyo Dome, he stopped midway, started smoking whilst trash was getting thrown. I can't hear it. I didn't hear it. So I'm the wrong person to ask, to be honest. Because I have to have the sound right down. I mean, in all fairness, with AEW, I probably could put in headphones and listen to it on headphones, but that's a fun little fact, though. I appreciate that info. Darby coming down with different face paint. Again, it looks a bit like a mask. It's this bit here that's been painted. I remember Dustin Rhodes doing that a few weeks ago. He just painted this bit. But at least with Darby, he's kind of gone down the neck and into the body and whatever. It looks cool. Miro pounding away on Darby Allin, getting the jump. Miro screaming in the face of the referee. Hurls Darby into the ropes. Darby bounces off the ropes hard. So 15 minutes left in this match. Miro rolls out the ring. Goes over and grabs Darby, hurls Darby. I like Miro's attire. It looks good, yeah. It does look good. Looks very, Miro looks good. I'm loving this aggression, this is what we should have got from the start. This guy looks like a world champion. Hurls Darby into the, certainly with that ring attire as well. It's very classy. The cameraman's in a bad position. We can't see what's going on. Darby is clotheslined over the railings. Goes into the crowd. Smile on the face of Miro as he sees Sting. Obviously, they were both at WrestleMania 31, weren't they? Sting taking on Triple H. Miro taking on John Cena. He picks up Darby by his shorts. He's looking to belly to belly over the railings. Kind of reminds me a lot of the Pac match from earlier, where Pac and Orange Cassidy were just getting thrown into the railings a lot. Would you want a match with Miro? No, thank you. No. He looks like he would chuck you around that ring for fun. Intense. I like Sting, but I think we see him too much, says King 12. Did he hit his head on the railing during that flip, asks Jimmy. He might have clipped it. He might have clipped it. I can see a lot of his face paint and whatever all over Miro's chest. He's got his shoulder bandaged, Darby. He's trying to get up to his feet. The bell rings now. The bell not rung. Miro with a big kick, and he thinks he's won, but the referee is letting him know that it was only a 2. This is quite fun, man. I didn't realise the match hadn't started. This is how Miro should have been booked from the start. I would like to see Miro get squashed by Days. I'd like to see that as well, actually. Nice drop kick by Darby. Still fighting on the outside. Darby jumps. He's over on the shoulders of Miro. Into the ring post goes Miro. Against the ropes goes Darby. Whoa, that was good. That was good. If you're gonna do it, do it. And he did it. That suicide dive. I don't even know if it's technically a suicide dive, but he goes through the ropes. He shoots through the ropes into Miro like he's just been shot out of a cannon. The pace that Darby goes through the ropes there. It's one of the best suicide dives I've ever seen. That was absolutely brilliant. That was brilliant. There's so many suicide dives where they go through and they're quite slow and they just kind of like flop onto the people. Or they get clipped the ropes and, you know what I mean? They're kind of... That, though, wow. That honestly, when they're teaching suicide dives, they should show that. I think he's done it before, in all fairness. I'm not saying this is like a brand new move, but his execution in that was brilliant. I like it now. His face paint, body paint has just wore off a little bit as well. It looks better when it's a little bit worn. Sting is being attacked. It was a coffin dive. I don't think it was. The coffin dive's when he's at the top, isn't it? And he goes backwards. Slammed down by Darby. What is the best James Ellsworth match of all time? I don't know, but my James Ellsworth knowledge is very limited to obviously just his WWE run. Forearm strikes by Darby. Throwing some shots to the midsection. Tries to hurl Miro into the court. Hard, man. Hard. The old Bret Hart bump. Chest first into the corner. Miro is an awesome artist. This Miro stole his name. Why attack Sting? It makes no sense. Yeah, I don't know. He's back up to his feet now. It just seems like... I wish we'd get rid of all this outside nonsense. It ruins the matches for me. Maybe it makes the matches for other people. But, like, I didn't need Gallows getting involved earlier. I don't need all these post-fight beatdowns. I don't need them attacking Sting. I just don't need it all. Not when you're getting a really great match as well, where the focus should absolutely be on this match. But thankfully, that looks like it's done anyway. Sting is back up to his feet. We've got an elbow drop by Miro, who's rolling out of the ring. Why do they always do run-ins? I don't know. Nice kicks by Miro. He's taking his time a little bit. We've got what, 8 minutes till the end of the show. Quite a slow, methodical pace by Miro. Darby Allin down. They do the attacks way too much. Well, what I'm going to say is, thankfully, this was very short. It hasn't distracted from the match. I'm still firmly in this match. I'm really invested. I'm really enjoying it. Lovely gut wrench. Everything is so hard. The way that he gut wrenched him, picked him up and slammed him down. Really, really hard. Really good stuff. I mean, Darby just bounces into the corner. The way that Darby can take punishment is his real strength, isn't it? I mean, he really lays it in. But the amount of punishment that he can withdraw and go through. Nice roll by Miro. Strike to the back. Back elbow. He's trying to fight back here, Darby. Into the corner goes Darby. Nice reversal. Flips. Lands on his feet. Round the back. Sleeper. Sleeper hold by Darby. He's managed to jump onto Miro. Darby's such an interesting kind of character because he's not the biggest. He's not the most ripped or the most jacked. He's not the strongest. But we were talking earlier about how everyone's got like a strength and a weakness. And I really feel that it's Darby's durability. It's the fact that you can literally pick him up, throw him in the corner, and he'll, you know, he will have the ability. It'll take him a second, but he'll get back up and he'll come after you. Like, you can chuck him around the arena. You can throw him into barricades. And he will find a way of getting back up. And when he lays in his stuff, he lays it in hard. So if you're going to... He's such a... He's a bit like Delsim. He's just like this really hard... Not the biggest guy in the world, but he's this hard person to, like, beat down. Chuck him around. He'll keep getting back up. Those arms aren't doing anything. Miro has got the TNT title in his hands. He was trying to hit Darby with it. We're on the outside of the ring right now, and Miro is starting to fade. We're starting to run out of time. Is he going to... Oh, I thought... Oh, and he drives Darby into the edge. Do you know what I thought he was going to do then? I thought he was going to grab Darby. I thought he was going to try and flip him over like that into the announce table. Still a cool. This is cool. Still a cool spot. It's clever. It's, yeah, logical kind of thing you would do. 5 minutes left. Sonny, shout out to you. Days, do you like Funko? What is your favourite Funko? Funko are cool. I like Funko. Favourite? I don't know, bud. I don't know. I've got a soft spot for the for a Rey. I've got this Rey Mysterio that's black and neon, and I've got a soft spot for that because it's quite rare, and it looks cool. But yeah, there's been loads. I mean, I've got a fair few Funkos, but in fairness, I haven't been keeping up with them. I mean, I'm sure there's loads that have come out that I've not seen. Darby back in the ring. Miro in control, slams Darby's arm down. Obviously, Darby just getting thrown into the edge of the stage. Just smashing Darby's shoulder into the middle turnbuckle. Darby slumps in the corner. Do you know, I'm looking at this and I'm like, man, Miro should win this. Miro is hurling Darby all over the place. Darby trying to get up to his feet, but he slumps down. Referee is checking on Darby. Sting having a look at Darby, saying a few words. Fist bumping during a match. He slaps Miro. Miro pushes Darby into the corner. Chop block by Darby. Darby over the top. Round the back. Good stunner. Inside cradle. Just a 2. Duck underneath. Oh, another stunner. It looked like he was going for the cover, but he's going to go for the coffin drop. Darby up top. No, got caught. He got caught. Coffin drop got caught. Oh, lands on his feet. Oh, this is a good end. I wasn't into the fist bump, but this is a good end. 2. Oh, kick out. Back and forth. Drama right at the end. Oh, code red. 2. That was a 3. I swear that was a 3. Darby working on the arm of Miro right now. Takes legs away into the game over. Darby in a bad situation here. The ref has called it. We've got a new TNT champ. Miro wins the match. Wow, new TNT champion. Miro beats Darby Allin. Decent match. Decent match. I probably didn't need the fist bump. And I certainly didn't need these clowns getting involved on the outside. But that's going to potentially allow Darby and Sting to focus on something else whilst Miro carries the championship forward. And good match. Darby is, doesn't look weak at all. He got thrown around. He got absolutely smashed around Daly's place. New TNT champion. The best. Do we need the best man Miro thing? I don't think we do. Here's Lance Archer. Jake's trying to hold Lance Archer back. Smile on the face of Miro. Miro's like, come and get it. If you want the title, come and get it. I'll tell you, man, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that show. I thought there's nothing there that upset me or I found embarrassing. Which can't always be said for AEW and WWE for that fact. I'm looking at you, Raw. But no, I thought that was very good. That match was good, says Brony. Give me Miro versus Lance, says Dom15. Did something right, but then we get a stupid brawl, says Jitin. Get in your scores then. What do you think of the show? Are you happy? Are you sad? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? What did you think of the show? C. Rayford says 7.5. Brendan says 3.5. Brian says 7.25. Taboy says 7.5. Zachary says 7.25. Logan, shout out to you. Cheese Whiz says 7. Sherry said Miro beat Darby Allin with the submission, the game over, or pinfall. It was the submission. Game over submission. But it was weird because it was kind of like the accolade, but he bent so far back that Darby Allin ended up kind of being on top of him. But he still got the win. So he was kind of on his back. It was a weird variation of it. 7.5 says Brony. Dan C says 7.5. Don says 7.5. It was an okay show. Love Miro as champ. Ending with the brawl was bad. They look like clowns. Al the King says 8. Logan says 4. Nightwing says 5.5. Dave in real life says AEW was top dollar. David Hall says great match. Cindy said it was a good show, 7. Crazy Ginger Jake Holden says 8.75. Labria says 7.125. Brandon says 3. Mia says 7.5. William, shout out to you. Austin says 7. Crazy Ginger Jake Holden says 8.75. Andrew says 8.25. Brad G says 7.5. Sonny, shout out to you. Brendan 3.75. But Spark says, give me a TikTok battle between Miro and Archer. Daniel said, don't know if you noticed, but Miro's gear was red and gold because it was the colours of the TNT title when Brody had it and Miro had it on his shorts. So I thought he might win after that. 8 out of 10. I did notice the logo on the front. It was nice. It looked cool. Brony 7.5. Tiff says 8. J14 says 7.75. Crimson Rain says 8. Rated R Wrestling says 8.5. I really enjoyed this show. I understand, like, you know, there's a few moments that I would have changed. You're going to get that with most shows. I don't think there was a big OMG moment here. Maybe they would have wanted the spraying to have been that moment. Perhaps that's the OMG moment they were hoping for this week. Maybe the title change is meant to be the OMG moment. The thing with the spraying thing, as I've said a million times, it's going to be compared to what WWE did back in the day. I don't think it was as good. I think it's a solid part of the show and not really any more than that. I think the title change is cool, but the TNT title is something that we've seen change on TV. You know, it's kind of where it changes hands in many ways. It's the TNT title. So the fact that he's got it off Darby, though, and Darby had it for a while, I think means that, you know, it's good. I mean, it's good. I kind of feel like we're snuggling up to the OMG scores. I kind of feel like the matches were solid. I was thoroughly entertained. I think it's easily the best show of the week so far. I'm going to be quite high on this score. I'm going to go 7.75. I'm going to go 7.75. There was nothing here that pushed me into 8s. I only tend to go into 8s when there's like a real wow, kind of a yes. And you could argue that the Miro thing did that. But for me, 7.75 feels right. I would more likely go down than up, in all fairness. I think this is my ceiling. So I'd more likely go down to 7.5 than up to 8. So I'm being generous. But I don't know, man. I think I really enjoyed the matches tonight. I thought the Bucks match was really good. I thought the main event match was good. Really enjoyed Moxley against Nagata at the start. And, you know, how great to see the IWGP, any IWGP title get defended on AEW. So I thought that was really good. Britt Baker's little sit-down thing was good. I don't know. Cody's thing was weird. Apparently we're at war. But outside of that, I like the news that for one night is going to be the American Dream. Yeah, I don't know. There was a lot here that I liked. The suicide dive could be an OMG moment. I'm kidding. But it did look like he got shot out of a cannon. Oh, it did. That suicide dive. Do you know, it's so funny, isn't it? If you said to me that a suicide dive was going to really grab your attention, it'll be one of the best things that you see tonight. It's going to really grab your attention. It's going to really make you, like, really invested in the main event. I'd be like, yeah, okay, sure. I'll believe that when I see it. Well, I saw it. And it just kind of reinforces to me that if you can do something good, like really good, then sometimes that's all it takes. Like, you don't need to do a million things. You just sometimes need to do one really good thing. And that suicide dive was so impressive that I was just like, I've got to watch this. Like, it just looks like Darby is up for this, is on point. Miro's a bit of a killer. You know, you've got this powerhouse. I really like that as well. The fact that Miro is this powerhouse. Darby Allin, his strength is being thrown around. I know that sounds weird, but his strength is his selling and the fact he can take so much punishment, his durability. And you've got, I think Miro summed it up really well. He's like, next week, I think this was last week that he said this. He was like, next week, you're going to see the guy that doesn't mind if he dies in the ring against the man that doesn't mind killing him. And I love that line, because that is the match, isn't it? The guy that doesn't mind if he dies in the ring. Darby Allin is all heart, is all durability. Do you know what I mean? He'll get pushed to his limits, and if he dies, he dies. Against Miro, the man that just doesn't mind killing him. I thought that summed this match up. I was quite interested in seeing this match, and it delivered. So, yeah, this is it's quite a high score for AEW from me this week. I was really into it. I was really impressed. I thought it was good. Shout out to everyone that joined us. I hope you enjoyed AEW as well. If you didn't, don't worry, it's over. So there we go. I've obviously got Wrestling Escape Pod tomorrow. I think it will. Haven't done any WrestleMania Backlash predictions, so I think we're going to have a really good, really in-depth WrestleMania Backlash conversation tomorrow. Going to look at all the matches, going to talk about the build, going to talk about some potential surprises. I'm going to try and find a way to get excited for the show. Yeah, we're going to really try and have a look and break things down. So that should be fun tomorrow. I don't know if it'll be on the Days channel, to be honest. It'll probably be over on the Wrestling Escape Pod channel. I would be tempted to move it to the Days one, only because I haven't done any predictions for WrestleMania Backlash, so I kind of feel like this is going to be my predictions for WrestleMania Backlash. So I don't know what channel they should really go on. I suppose they should go on Wrestling Escape Pod, so it'll probably be over there. So if you want to join that conversation tomorrow with myself, and of course Tommy Toy Travels, Triple T, we'll be looking at all the build, what the weekend might hold. So we got that tomorrow. We've got SmackDown on Friday. We've got UFC 262 on Saturday, one of the biggest shows of the year. Khabib has gone. Dry those eyes. We need to crown a new lightweight champion, and we will be doing that on Saturday. And then, of course, we've got WrestleMania Backlash on Sunday, Raw on Monday, NXT on Tuesday, AEW on Wednesday. Never ends. Never ends. So, awesome, my friends. Thank you so much for joining us. Really do appreciate the support, as always. Hope you enjoyed the show, and hopefully I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.